Welcome to Bracket Masters, the podcast. We take a bracket of 32, 64, 128 and more and banter our way down to a winner. I am your humble host this week, Mr. A. Bundy, and this is...
Of course, this is your boy Q. The reason why you tune in, the energy, the liveliness of this podcast. Let's just get it going. That's all I got to say.
And this is Bubbles, your most amazing senator from the great state of Bastardom. Just here to also help liven everything up with all of the adorableness.
And I'm Sharron, your resident Swede, coming at you from the southern part of Sweden tonight, depending on where you are, and the creator of, or shall we say curator of, the Viking Diaries all across the internet.
And I am Kevin Stoner. I'm just a guy here to have some opinions. Let's go.
And our final guest this week is the first timer on the show, Mr. Eric. How you doing?
He don't even know.
Yes, he doesn't know. I just got a message from him saying that he will be back in a second. He's got to switch to his laptop. We will get to him as soon as we can. Right. We're talking. We did a 90s bracket last week, and of course, the internet, out of all those topics, won last week. So it goes on to the finals this week. This week, we're taking care of the other half of the field, and we have a couple rules on this show, a couple lifelines, a couple perks. And number one is the steal a vote, named after Q off of this one. One time during the show, up into including the quarterfinal round, you are allowed to steal one person's vote, as long as they haven't gone yet, which brings up the second rule, which is blowing of load. If this one time during the show, since we've done round robin style, if you are one of the first people to go and don't want to be one of the first people to go, you can blow your load. This means you're going last. If you blow your load, people can steal your vote. So make sure you keep that in mind. And of course, we do have 6 people on the screen, or at least will when Eric gets back, which means pass the parcel is in play when we have an even number of people, which means you can up into, including the quarterfinal round, you can pass your vote to me one time during the show, and that is it. Eric is off the screen right now, which means I get to start this one off. And it is either The Simpsons or from the show Family Matters. I'm going to try to do this justice. Did I do that?
Pretty good.
Thank you, because that was fucking terrible. I appreciate your dishonesty in that one.
Trying to pump you up, buddy.
Did I do that?
The Simpsons started in Christmas, on Christmas. No, New Year's Eve. I apologize. So technically, New Year's Eve, 1989. So the day before the 90s started. It is a total 90s thing. It's one of my childhood favorite things of all time. Did I do that? Kind of made fun of nerds before nerds were cool again. And I really wish nerds were cool back when I was a kid, because that would have made my life a whole lot easier. I got to go with The Simpsons on this one. It's still going on 30 plus years later. Just is what it is. Q, is it The Simpsons or did I do that?
I believe The Simpsons are like the second longest running TV show behind 60 Minutes. I'm pretty sure.
I thought Doctor Who was the longest running TV show.
Yeah.
No, because Doctor Who had
making episodes still.
No, because Doctor Who is still making new episodes, but they didn't.
Oh crap!
They do. They're on Disney.
I don't watch Disney.
Well, should. They're fantastic. Yeah, the new season is fantastic. However, Doctor Who did stop for twice actually for multi-year spans, so they're not concurrent. However,
they're not ongoing. Yeah.
With the exception, you are incorrect though, because the second longest running TV show with as far as concurrent episodes goes is actually Monday Night Raw. So,
Really?
yep.
Wow.
It's been on for 30 plus years, and there's
How is that a statistic I've never heard?
because a lot of people a lot of people consider it a sports thing, which would
I
disqualify
suppose,
it.
yeah.
As opposed
it's
to
not.
a like ongoing like TV series.
Which it is. It's a male soap opera. Coming from a wrestling fan, which we're doing a wrestling episode next week, by the way. We're talking about wrestling catchphrases. But coming from a wrestling fan, it is the longest running episodic television show in history. If you don't include and it's not even 60 minutes, it's Meet the Press. Meet the Press is the long because it's been on like 50 years.
Oh
And it
yeah.
has not missed a week. Out of all the stuff been going on, has not missed a week. But anyway, your vote, Q.
Anyways, my vote is going to the Simpsons. I mean,
Going
if we get rid of the Simpsons, how are we going to know what the future holds?
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Simpsons gets a vote. Bubbles.
Yeah, no, I think that the Did I Do That it lives rent free in my head, like all the time. Like there's times that I will do something and I'm like, that's the exact thing that pops into my brain. But I think it should also be left in the 90s. I would like to see The Simpsons go ahead and move forward.
Get the Simpsons with a second vote. I say second vote because since Eric is back on screen, his vote is going to apply instead of mine on this one. Sharon,
I feel
Is it-
like the yeah.
is it The Simpsons or Did I Do That?
For my money, it's definitely the Simpsons. I feel like that was kind of it remains a bit of a cultural touchstone, quite frankly. It's well written, it's funny, it's smart, and I've got to go with the Simpsons all the way on that. Man.
It kind of sounds like you're having some symptoms of something else right now.
I was
Kevin.
gonna just say, based on our earlier conversation, yes.
Kevin, is The Simpsons or Did I Do That?
You had a good point with the "Did I do that?" Yeah, nerd shaming, and as Bubble said, it something that maybe should stay in the past. But there's no debating that it's iconic. It still lives rent free in everybody's head. I never even watched the show, and it lives rent free in my head. Like that makes it like super iconic in its own way. But The Simpsons is a cultural foundation. Even if I do prefer Matt's other two shows over The Simpsons, but I still love The Simpsons for what it is. It's going to get my vote.
And Eric, finish this off. Is it The Simpsons or Did I Do That?
All right, so y'all might be a wild card here when I say this, but it's gonna be The Simpsons. I still listen to them.
You almost had me shocked on that one. The Simpsons goes 5-0 on that one. Just Bubbles, what is that?
That's a sweep. We started it with a sweep. Okay.
We started it with a sweep. Q starts this one off. Q, we're going off with another quote on this one, and I'm not going to do it justice, so I'm going to hopefully have Bubbles do this. Is it Feeney or Will Smith?
Oh, it's got to be Feeney, bro. Boy Meets World was the shit. Absolutely the shit. And now Girl Meets World didn't really do that great, but Boy Meets World was the shit, and that Feeney line was just epic.
By the way, on this one, we are talking about the Feeney line and not Feeney himself.
Right. And I'm saying that line that was made by Eric was just fucking great.
Speaking of Feeney, though, I believe next spring or somewhere around the bouts, we have a TV and movies teachers bracket coming up as well. And when we did it on Bracketology, Mr. Feeney beat out Professor McGonagall in the finals to win the entire thing. So,
damn.
Yeah, that was a matchup of the ages. Feeney gets a vote off of that one. Bubbles, is it Feeney, which I'm not going to try that again, or Will Smith.
Oh my goodness. Gosh. So I kind of want to go and vote Will Smith on this for Harvey.
For Harvey.
Oh my goodness. But the way that Q just said it was so spot on. Can you do that again, Q?
Something like that. I think the first time was better.
He would
I think
like
it was too.
switch it up like oh my god, nobody could live up to that, but that was pretty freaking close, Q.
Thank you.
I think that we are gonna go with, you know what? I'm gonna go with Will Smith on this one.
Going with Big Willie, huh?
Yeah.
Big Will is always a good choice.
And it's specifically like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is really what I'm thinking. And it's that scene where he was talking about like why his dad like doesn't want him. And
that scene, considering that half of that scene was actually ad-libbed, it was even better because it was supposed to stop at a certain point.
Right. He was supposed to just kind of brush it off and be like, yeah, whatever. But then it actually kind of because he didn't actually have it dead.
It's one of the most iconic scenes of all time. Will Smith also, Independence Day is in the 90s. A lot of his rap career was in the 90s as well. So, like, as far as the Will Smith era, it's 90s for me.
It definitely wasn't the 2020s.
No. Sharron, is it Feeney or Will Smith?
For my money, it's got to be Will Smith for the same reasons that folks have already kind of expounded on here. I think that's where he first kind of appeared on the scene. Did he do the movie that his first really big film with Donald Sutherland and Stockard Channing in that decade as well? Remember where he tried to tell everybody he tried to convince him he was Sidney Poitier's illegitimate son?
Yeah, that was the beginning of the 90s. The beginning of the 90s.
There you go. That was a fantastic film. Why is it 6 Degrees of Separation? It was called, which was also a fun game, by the way, that we played a lot in the 90s. But yeah, I got to go with Will Smith.
I try to play that now and I fail at it all the time. So Will Smith gets a vote. Kevin, is it Will Smith or Feeney?
Well,
that was for Bubbles. You shouldn't even react.
I'm going to insult Q here and say I've never seen an episode of A Boy Meeting a World.
You've never seen? Oh my god!
Wow.
Wait, how old are you?
Hey, yo, hold on, Kevin. You gotta be like,
how old are you?
10 years old.
I don't fucking I don't know shows like I was watching like Even Stevens and stuff like that. For some
I'm down with Even Stevens, but before that.
Yeah, it was well before that. That was the 90s.
Like, they went from there, like when they were like middle schoolers, all the way up until like, after they graduated into college and shit. Like followed it. Like, yeah.
I don't know why it never like the episodes that I saw never jived with me, so I never got motivated to watch more of it. I don't know why. Yell at young me. I might watch it now. I don't know.
Kevin, my little cinnamon roll. Like
sorry. I think sometimes people forget quite how uncultured I really am.
Just a little bit right now. Like
considering the fact that you still haven't seen Blazing Saddles too, that's another thing that bothers me.
Oh yeah, see now people are gonna think I'm younger than I am. You think I'm like low 20s? What does Sharron think I am?
I said 12.
I'm worried about whether or not you even shave, Kevin.
I'm 33, man.
Oh.
Whoa, I'm 34.
You're my age for real? And you didn't watch Boy Meets World? Oh my god.
That's why I told you I'm uncultured and I admit it.
My little soul is so sad.
I'm not even like offended by the Boy Meets World. I'm still offended, and it takes a lot to offend me. The fact that he still hasn't seen the movie Blazing Saddles.
That is, I'm more offended of myself than I am of Boys Meets Worlds because I've been wanting to see that for years. I even own the DVD. I want to watch it with somebody for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I just need to watch it with somebody.
He's gonna make it romantic.
Not about romance, just about like comedy and funny and laughing. And it's just like I don't want to sit there laughing at a funny movie by myself.
I mean, I don't know why. You could just, do your last name and you'd be perfectly fine.
Mel Brooks, by the way.
You gotta
Mel
have
Brooks, by the way,
Freddie.
in a month or so, I think October. In October, we are doing a Mel Brooks versus Kevin Smith bracket.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
So
That'd
as
be
far as
interesting.
that goes, so look forward to that one.
But yeah, I've been sitting over here singing na 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 na, and
So-
like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you get my
Kevin,
vote.
okay, but that was my question. Kevin's going for Will Smith on that, which means currently, unless anybody changes vote before Eric votes on this one, Eric, is it Feeney or Will Smith?
Hey, I gotta go with Will Smith, man. He owned the 90s. I mean, Wild Wild West, y'all. We gotta go with Wild Wild West.
Oh
Like,
yes.
you know what I'm saying? He owned the 90s. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest. Boys Meet World lost his steam for me after they got out of high school. I didn't know what was going on. It was too much. It got real dramatic. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, Will Smith always.
They jumped the hell off that shark of the shark too in the entire Halloween episode.
Yeah.
And then it turned out to be a dream in the entire thing. I'm like, don't make that shit canon. Just do it's like doing a musical episode. The musical episodes are never canon. They're just what they are. Just shit pissed me off. Will Smith moves on 4-1 to the next round. Bubbles is on the phone right now, so we're gonna be skipping her currently.
Oh, you can go ahead and ask.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Bubbles. Bubbles, is it the drink, the 90s version of Sobe, or Big Wheels?
I'm gonna go with Sobe on this one.
Sobe gets a vote. Sharron.
When you say big wheels, are we talking about a brand of clothing? Or are we talking about those big plastic bikes that we used to ride?
The
when I
big
was a
plastic
kid
bikes,
in the
but I'm
70s?
wondering about the clothing. Is there a clothing
one I
brand called
figured.
Big Wheels?
I don't know, but I like, but there's
Talking about Heelys?
there's no, you're right. It's not a clothing brand. Sobe is a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like either of my choices, quite frankly. Tell me what they are again.
Either Big Wheels or Sobe.
So Big Wheels was also a drink.
No, Big Wheels was a toy bicycle, was a trike for little
Was
kids.
the big plastic and it made terrible noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were
And
yellow,
Oh God,
yellow, red, and blue.
and orange or red. Yeah. Oh
Yellow,
my
red,
God,
and
they were
blue.
my goodness. Yes. I'm gonna have to go with a big wheel because I can still hear them rumbling through my neighborhood.
It's the secondary worst sound in the entire dial-up internet. It's just Kevin, is it Sobe or Big Wheels?
See, just like Sharron, I still hear it, but I don't hear it on blacktop. What I hear the big wheels on is carpet, and that's because of the
Oh.
iconic ass The Shining. Like it got immortalized in that movie there.
Right.
That's why it's
It'd be
getting
on-
my vote.
It'd be on the carpet, and then he would go across the tile, and it would change.
The hardwood, and
Oh, in the hard world. Oh yeah.
iconic sound design there.
Come play with us, Danny.
Big Wheels gets another vote. Eric.
Big Wheels. I think I still get a scar on my elbow from when I fell off mine.
Wow.
Like, I hit the, you know, you hit the brake.
They're so low to the ground.
No, you know when you hit the brakes, it used to spin you around.
Yes.
I did not see that vote going that way at all. Sobe, rip to Sobe right now, won the previous bracket that we did, the discontinued food and drink bracket a while back ago when we were discussing movie snacks and stuff like that. Big Wheels will be moving on, but Q, finish this out. Is it Big Wheels or Sobe?
Well, I'm not drinking anything that's gonna make me sober, so I gotta go with Big Wheels.
4-1. Big Wheels moves on to the next round. Sharron starts this one off. Sharron, is it Wilson from Home Improvement or the N64?
Oh my goodness. This is a very, very good question. But I'm gonna go with Wilson. I'm going to go with Wilson from Home Improvement.
Wilson gets a vote. Wilson's probably one of my favorite neighbors of all time.
Mhm.
Future bracket idea, by the way.
You're
Somebody
up.
write that shit down.
Yep.
Kevin, is it Wilson or N64?
I love Wilson for exactly what Sharron was just doing. He's a meme essentially this day and age, just peeking over that fence with his hat. It's just great. But what N64 did for gaming, even though I'm not much of a gamer, I still always worship like what it did for the gaming industry and how it brought it into like everybody's hands and made it like way better than it was before it existed. So I'm gonna throw my vote to N64.
Fair enough.
N64 gets a nod, Eric.
This is hard. I actually like them both. I'm gonna go with brought me the most joy. Then I'm gonna do the N64. Then N64. It was this game called Bad Fur Day. I used to play when I was a kid.
Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, I used to play as a kid, man, and that bring back all the. That's how I learned how to cuss. Bad Fur Day.
I'm pretty sure that's not the first time that particular game has been brought up on this show.
Hey, I love that game. That game was wild.
Like, I don't know why, but why it was referenced last time, but it was. Q, is it N64 or Wilson from Home Improvement?
Okay, so every time I hear the word or the name Wilson now, all I can picture is Wilson, which is completely different from what we were talking about.
True.
I think
And,
Mr. Wilson.
And honestly enough, I'm gonna have to go with the 64. I mean, I remember playing Mario Party on that, playing like 50 turns and stuff, like just going through, playing Mario 64 even. Like that was epic at the time. Still is actually. So yeah, I gotta go with the 64, man.
I'd still say my favorite 64 game was WCW versus NWO. And
I remember that game.
WWF No Mercy. Those two were like just back to back because it was two different rival companies at the same time. So N64 gets that vote and the win off of that one. Bubbles, finish this one out.
I remember watching Home Improvement like with my mom and my dad. Like we were younger and they were still together and stuff. But N64, wasn't Pokemon Snap on the N64 if I remember right? Like
I remember Pokemon game, yeah.
Like that was the shit. And then we've got fucking Super Mario, we got Mario, we got Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, 007. Like I think
Golden
that was
Gun,
probably
yeah.
the only time that I really enjoyed playing video games. Other than that, I actually just enjoy watching other people play video games. But N64, that was like my video game era.
It's all about that Rumble Pack. N64 moves on to the next round. Kevin starts us off. Kevin, is it scented markers or Jerry Springer?
See, I never like drama. Like, I hate drama. So Jerry Springer just never vibed with me. I'm like, this show was just people yelling at each other. Like, man, I can see why people like it because it's entertaining in its own way. But I was hello that kid huffing the scented markers. Scented markers getting my vote.
Eric, is it scented markers or Jerry Springer?
Oh man, first of all, I'm gonna have to say no to drugs. Then that's scented markers. No, but I'm a kid who was raised by his grandmother, so you gotta be Jerry Springer.
I'm the same way on that one. I was raised on my grandparents. My grandparents did not have Jerry Springer though. I remember Jerry Springer from the entire Too Hot for TV commercials and stuff like that.
What was that movie he had? Was it Ringside?
I can't remember. I do know he was a guest host for Monday Night Raw at one time, but Jerry Springer changed television because the talk shows back then were just really boring type thing.
Snooze fest.
They were really snooze fest, and Jerry Springer wanted to do something because he had a boring talk show at first too, and then he was about to be he had a boring talk show, and then he was about to be canceled. So his partner was like let's just do something wild
on here and let him fight.
It's like they're gonna cancel us anyway. Let's just go ahead and have some fun. And the last couple episodes that they were doing, they wanted to cancel them because of the last couple episodes, because it was just got so much freaking hate mail and everything else. But then the phone calls started coming in, and they say like the entire any press is good press type thing, as long as they're talking about you. And then once that happened, he kept getting more and more type people doing this, and all this was fake, by the way. None of this shit was real. All the other shows had to keep up, and that's when like Maury Povich came in, and Maury Povich is still going strong and doing absolutely wonderful. By the way, rest in peace for Jerry Springer this year. It changed daytime television, maybe for the good, maybe for the worst, but whatever your stance on this one, Jerry Springer had some historical significance in what was going on. Q. Is it Jerry Springer or Scented Markers?
Jerry. Yeah, most definitely Jerry Springer. Watch that show with my mom every morning.
That explains a lot. Bubbles.
Oh my gosh. I remember watching so many Jerry. I feel like I watched way more Jerry Springer than I probably should have. But Scented I still have Scented Markers. Like, I was just coloring with Scented Markers a couple days ago. So let's just put that out there and make that clear. Oh my God, this one's hard.
That's what she said.
I don't have my button.
But I'm pumped.
I'm gonna go Scented Markers on this one.
Which means this is a tie game coming down to Sharron. Sharron, is it Scented Markers or Jerry Springer?
How did a tie come down to me at this point? You know, I really vibed with Kevin's response. You know, the Jerry Springer show kind of gave me anxiety. I mean, it was so much drama. It was so much, and there was so much artifice in it as well. But I was never really into the Scented Markers either. And then I realized that sometimes if I was having a down day and if I could come across Jerry Springer, I suddenly just felt so much better about my own life. So
Damn.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with Jerry Springer.
That is a number one reason I think Walmart should have like an observation deck.
Oh Jesus!
Jerry moves on 3-2 in a split vote to the next round. Eric starts us off on this one. Is it the Jazzy Cup design? And for people who don't know what the Jazzy Cup design is the blue streak and the wave type thing. It's an icon. Once you look it up and see what it is, it's an image that will stick in your mind forever. Or Scholastic book fairs.
Ooh.
Oh, this is fucked.
Scholastic. All day. Like you know how popular you was. You can have some money for the book fair. Like that was. Scholastic. That's they brought back some memories right there.
Scholastic book fairs gets a vote off of that one. Q, is it book fairs or the Jazzy Cup design?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it pulled up, but there's no high resolution images.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like if you ever went to like Dairy Queen and stuff like that, they always had that cup.
Oh my God, why can't I?
Birthday parties.
Yeah.
Okay, like fucking. All right.
Everyone had that cup.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Isn't that like? Also, shit. Can't even think. I can't even think of the fucking name right now. But what was the other one besides the Jazzy Cups?
Scholastic book fairs.
I guess I'm gonna go with the Jazzy Cups.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
That always reminds me of Taco Bell too, because Taco Bell
I
used
was
to have.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, has the same kind. Not they didn't have it on the cups, but the Taco Bell design that they had on like the back of their chairs and shit always reminds me of like the Jazzy Cup designs. That's before
What? We had the best designs in the 90s, okay? We were so fun. Like the designs of these buildings now are so boring.
adult. They're adults.
Yeah.
Fucking
They're
McDonald's is just the pinnacle of that.
Yeah,
McDonald's
it's
is
so
the textbook example of what that is.
Granted, I used to have to clean the play place, so I understand why they don't have play places anymore. That's what it is. Bubbles. It is a tie game currently. Is it book fairs or the Jazzy Cup design?
Oh my gosh. As much as like I love the Jazzy Cup designs because again, like everywhere had it from just your regular stores to birthday parties and things like that. It's the fucking Scholastic book fair. Like you would walk in that bitch and you're like, Mom, I need $5 because there's a fucking snow globe that I don't need, but it's cute and it's gonna break in 2 days, and it's gonna leak all over, but I need it. And then the pencil toppers that never went on the top of your pencils, you just kind of took them and you like flung them across the classroom.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you would have, but you, of course, Mom and Dad, they're like, you have to get at least one book. You can't just get novelty and toys. Like you gotta get a book. So of course you'd pick like a random ass like Magic School Bus or not Magic Tree House is what those actually ended up being hella cool. Or Boxcar Children, love those. And you don't realize how much you appreciate them until you're like older and you're like, yeah, those are actually kind of super awesome. It's where
I always tell people like a way to get that feeling back of the Scholastic book fairs. It's like go to a new thrift store that you haven't been to yet with like $20.
Yes. I love thrift
Go
stores.
crazy.
They're so good. I love them.
That's kind of the equivalent to it because you're like, shit, I have so many options.
I know.
Right.
None of them are good.
None of them.
Sharon, is it book fairs or the Jazzy Cup design?
It's got to be the Scholastic book fairs for me too. I love those damn things. I loved going. I loved browsing through everything. Felt like we were there for hours because there were 4 of us. It was great. That's my vote.
Gets your vote and the win off of that one. Kevin finishes out. Is it the book fairs or the Jazzy Cup design?
I am so glad the vote went down this way because Scholastic deserves the win, man. I was the kid that didn't read books, but I still loved the book fairs because like there was like these science kits and shit, and I was really into the sciencey shit when I was young, and like every book fair had a whole different like sciencey thing, and it was like cool. And obviously I like got some books too. Like I was into Goosebumps. I did read a little like when I was younger. I don't know if I got those there, but I probably did. But I loved the book fair when it happened. But also that's peak design, so I'm gonna vote for that. I'm gonna vote for Jazz.
3-2, the Classic Book Fairs moves on to the next round. Q starts us off on this one. Q, is it recording music off of the radio, or I describe it as the streetlight rule, or the last of the latchkey kids? And do you need me to explain that?
Yes.
Okay. The streetlight rule for everybody out there who doesn't know what this is. This may be a Midwestern thing. I don't know.
I know it.
Okay.
Like, you had to be home before the streetlights came on, right?
Yes, you had to be home when the streetlights came on. That was your signal to come home. Nowadays, however, you can't just let your kids go out and play outside anymore. So, it was we were kind of the last generation because of the internet and stuff like that, and we're all scared that our kids are gonna get lost, which did happen back then, but we just didn't know about it. the entire milk carton situation. So is it the streetlight rule or recording music off the radio?
I'm gonna go with the street light rule because, well, I didn't record music off of the radio.
You privileged bastard.
Oh no, I wasn't like privileged or nothing like that. It was just I just didn't record music off the radio. Like, by the time like I got to the age where like I actually started appreciating music, you could already burn CDs and shit like that. So I didn't have to sit there with a recorder and hold it up to my speaker and get really bad sound quality.
There was also, sorry, I guess a little fancier because we had a system where you could actually like set it up where you just pressed the record button and it would record it on the tape from the radio.
Oh yeah, that's the same thing as you recording it off. Off radio.
But you're not holding your recorder up to it. You're just playing it on the. I don't know. Like it's almost like downloading music is what like the equivalent that my brain is.
Yeah, you're not doing a microphone audio degradation
right now.
Destroy the quality recording. You're just getting a direct recording.
Streetlight rule gets a vote off of that one. Bubbles is the streetlight rule or recording off the radio.
I remember that commercial. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Yep.
So, I mean, it's kind of wild because, I mean, like Freddie said, kids didn't get stolen, but they did. And we just didn't hear about it on the same scale or the same masses that we have now. But damn, do I miss that streetlight rule. I miss kids just going out and just play. I kick my kids out of the house all the time. I'm like, I'll sit outside. I will sit out there with them. I will fucking get my toddler pants on and go play in the streets. But, I do. I hate having the kids with their faces in the screen all the time. I do miss when we were kids, we were like, no, we're going to go and chase fucking lizards and stuff. And, oh, the sun's down. I should probably be home right now.
Chasing the lizards. That was a great memory. Yeah.
So, latchkey kids, where we were raising ourselves, streetlights, totally. That's my vote.
The favorite part of that was the entire getting free candy from white vans.
Ooh. Okay. True story. I
shouldn't make light of that, but
okay.
You already doing too late.
My brother and I, we hopped the fence over where we were living. We're in a trailer park, and on the other side there was a trucking company, and I very clearly remember hopping this fence and going over there and making friends with these people who gave us candy and then walked us home. That could have went so much worse.
They didn't drive you?
Well, no, we just hopped the fence. It was right there.
Joke.
How else?
Here's some candy. Now go home.
Well, and I always tell my kids too, and this is I know a lot of them, but if you're ever lost somewhere, find the meanest looking biker dude you can find. Because that is going to be the nicest fucking person you will ever meet, and they will protect you until they find your fucking parents.
Or until you become too much of an hassle, and then they're like, "Fuck it, you're on your own."
No, because they've been through some serious shit too. The best man at my wedding is one of those big ass biker dudes too, and he'll say the same thing. They have rules in their entire
culture.
In their culture, when it comes to women and children, that they will move heaven and earth to make sure that they are protected. Period. I've seen people get beat down because they just grabbed a kid by the arm in the wrong direction. So that's why I tell people is if your kids are ever in a situation where they're lost, go find in a crowded situation like a fair or something, go go find the biggest fucking biker you can find and go off that. That will happen. Sharron, I think we're on you, right?
Those
I
guys
think
just
so.
aren't approachable. Though.
Well, I'm now don't remember what Bubbles' answer was. Not that it matters for my vote, but I can't remember which way.
Yeah, streetlight rule.
Streetlight rule. All right, very good. Well, I'm going to show my age here, but in the 1990s, I was working at radio stations, so I never had to record music off the radio. I was literally at the stations where the music was being played. So I'm going to go with the streetlight rule. And I will tell you all, since none of you were born then, that we were recording music off the radio on a damn cassette player in the 70s as well. Literally holding up, press the button, click. Talk about crappy sound quality. Oh my God.
Sharron's like, you 90s kids don't take this from us 70s.
That's right. You 90s kids don't know how good you had it. And get off of my lawn.
And now kids are just stealing music from like TikTok videos. So
exactly.
it's a generational thing. It's just each generation has their own thing going on. Kevin, the streetlight rule or recording music off the radio.
Streetlight rule 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I get to do it again. So I'm gonna go ahead and say vinyl. Vinyl was peak. Vinyl was where it's at. Vinyl will always be where it's at. Because like when it comes to physical media, it's just when you have a CD, it just feels like a CD. When you have a vinyl, there's just a whole different thing. Like it's an album for a reason. And I never experienced that when I was young. I just wanted to point that out. That was a later adult appreciation. But I lived the experience of going through having music pretty much just be on the radio to have to like manually record it, and then the Napster everything came around, and like the experience of recording music over the years is what I'm voting for.
Okay,
I like it.
And Eric, finish us up.
Hey, so honestly, I was on the fence with this right here. The way I grew up in the 90s, like my grandmother, they didn't care where I went during the daytime as long as I came back home at night. As long as I came back home for the streetlights. I mean, I think I rode my bike from one end of my neighborhood to the town over. But the thing is, I'm going with the music. The reason why y'all don't understand that feeling of actually having like a real mixtape, like trying to record an actual mixtape for real. And like I remember me and my brother whooped my ass one time. I never forget this. He tried to record a mixtape for his girlfriend, right? And we had one of the radios. We had like Bubba said, you can stop and start like recording. But if you speak, it can record you talking in the background. and so he was stopping and starting, like he waited all day to get this damn song, and he stopped and started the songs. In the background, you hear me say, "Hey!"
The person, though, that's all it is.
Hey, yo, man, bro, like you don't understand. That's something that was you can never get back. Like so, hey, man, I'm going with recording music.
The entire mixtape thing going on. Streetlight rule moves on 3-2. The entire mixtape going on. Not only that, like the entire thing about giving somebody a gift, and people think like, oh, a mixtape isn't that big of a deal. Nowadays, it's not, because you have a CD or if you're on Spotify type stuff, you can create a playlist. Doesn't take you very long. However, recording music off a radio or something like that, you have to map out the song list and knowing where you want your songs to go, knowing how they're going to fit on the tape, because like each side is like 90 minutes. So if you cut off a song too early, you still have like, I don't know, like 30 seconds left on the tape. You gotta fast forward and everything else, and then you gotta do the same thing to the other side, and then you have to, when you record it off the radio, you have to wait for that song to play. So let's say there's like 20 songs maybe you can fit on a tape itself. To do that in order off of the radio, not off of the song that you already have like on tape and then record it off of that. Off of the radio, and you have to make sure to time it right so you can get it done before the radio professionals start talking at the
Talking
end or
over it.
beginning of the damn song.
Yep.
So the eloquence it takes to actually make a good mixtape is like when your kids give you something that they made in school. It doesn't look good to you, but it makes you feel fucking amazing because your kids made it.
Right.
They put a lot
Type
of
thing.
hard work into it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hard work into it. That's a month dedication at least. And if you were
Yeah.
really good, about it, you could the entire love notes and dedications type thing. You could have them like at the beginning of your mixtape, record them reading your love notes and dedications on the beginning of the mixtape, which is just a whole nother level of getting action later on. Just yeah. So unfortunately, recording off the radio dies in this round. Streetlight Rule moves on to the next round. Bubbles finishes out the first half of round one. Is it the supersized meals from McDonald's or Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is the first Harry Potter book?
Why'd you have to use the Philosopher's Stone?
Because that's the original title.
That's the original title.
I mean, I get it. Not for America.
If you want to say the Sorcerer's Stone, that's fine. It wouldn't change my vote at all.
No, I wouldn't change mine either.
That's so difficult because Harry Potter is still so highly iconic.
Yes, Q. You have a tattoo. We know.
I know. I have
What was
two tattoos actually.
What was the other option?
Doesn't matter.
The supersized meals from McDonald's.
Okay. Oh my God. Does anybody remember watching that Super Size Me movie?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
shit
that-
was totally fake too.
Okay, so like I was talking to somebody about this actually just a couple days ago, and I was like, the studies and the tests that they did wasn't realistic for average America.
Mm-mm.
I mean, on one hand, yeah, like you probably shouldn't ask the supersizer to like do that. Like I could totally understand them like stopping that practice, but to absolutely up and rid the whole supersize me, first off, French fries from McDonald's, I hate to admit it because McDonald's is so unhealthy, but they are still top tier. Okay?
If they're fresh, if they're cold, they're trash. Absolute trash.
That is true.
Have to be
Gotta
hot.
be fresh. Gotta be
So
fresh and hot.
Not directly
Like-
fresh hot for me. It needs to be like a few minutes after, so they're not like burning your mouth.
Oh no, that's the perfect
still
thing. That's
in my
perfect
mouth.
right there.
My
I
son,
want blisters in my mouth to be fucking eating them bitches.
my son just got a job at McDonald's, and he gets off at 10 o'clock, and so his mom tax is just whatever French fries he gets at the end of the night or whatever.
Bring
I
me the bag
snack on 'em,
fries.
or he'll get me like ice cream or something. It's so sweet. I'm like, oh man, look at you. You're so sweet. But
It's like working in the movie theater and getting like a bag of popcorn before you leave, before they throw it out.
yes, exactly. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do supersize me on this.
Gets a vote from Bubbles. Actually, kind of surprises me. Sharon, is it Harry Potter book number one or the Supersize Me meals?
Well, we lost Morgan Spurlock just in May, died of cancer, 53. So I feel like even though there a lot of the science in that film was kind of debunked, the doc was nominated for an Academy Award. And so I think in Morgan's memory, I will go ahead and vote for Supersized Menus.
The Supersized Meals
Yeah.
gets a vote on that one. Kevin, is it the Supersized Meals or the first Harry Potter book?
Man, I have opinions that are not for this podcast, and I
Oh no, anything's liable for
Yeah,
this podcast.
anything's valid for this podcast. You're fully aware of that, there, sir.
I guess I haven't been on episodes where people actually talk opinions that are like hot topic. Like, I don't know. Those aren't opinions that are usually I'm usually even comfortable talking about. I just have those opinions, obviously.
You're welcome to share or not share. That is completely up to you there, sir.
I'll just say I do not like J.K. Rowling. I'm just gonna say that.
Fair enough.
I do not like the artist. She made a phenomenal piece of art, and I say that the universe manifested that piece of art through that terrible person, is what I will say.
Fair enough.
So I will give Harry Potter my vote because of the universe.
We're gonna have a talk after the show, okay?
Harry Potter gets that
serious.
vote. Eric, because
Hey,
we're going to
go
be
ahead.
getting to Q's opinion on things shortly enough. Eric, is it the supersized meals or the first Harry Potter book?
Hey, look, I'm gonna go with the supersized meals. Because first thing first, I never thought about reading an encyclopedia for fun. So I didn't do it. But do y'all remember back when the Harry Potter books first came out, when kids was going to the hospital? Like it was kids. I think their mind couldn't take it, so they were getting headaches. They were passing out. It was a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I'm part of the big bag group, so I'm going with supersized meals.
Supersized meals gets a vote and the win off of that one.
That is crazy.
Q, who is a Q?
I'm actually
I would have
baffled.
gone. I would have gone with the Harry Potter book as well. But Q, finish one out. Is it the supersized meals or the first Harry Potter book?
I mean, the first Harry Potter book is really like it. I don't know. It's just like all the other books. I mean, it's just iconic. But like, if I was gonna read another one, I would read the first one before the others. Outside of maybe seven. Seven was really fucking good. However, yeah, obviously Harry Potter gets my fucking vote. Not that it really matters too much. I'm a little upset. I'm a little hurt.
Oh, I'm sorry. Q.
Supersized meals gets the win. 32. Moving on to the next round. We'll be right back right after this break. Q doesn't have anything for ads, I don't think. Bubbles, do you have anything for ads this week?
No.
All right. And as far as the Bachelor's ads, the only thing I really have is where this month on the recasting call, there's a fly down here and it's pissing me off. So if you ever see me just doing like that, that's what it is.
I'm doing the same thing.
This month on the recasting call, we recasted the movie Major League from 1989. Myself, Harvey, and Kate recasted that one. It is out on the Bracket Bastards Spotify and wherever you catch your podcast at. Go ahead and check that one out. We take old movies and recast them with some new favorites, and we have a list going all the way out until next June. If you guys want to be on that show, please contact me and we'll figure something out. Like I said, so welcome back for the second half of round one. It looks like Sharron starts us off on this one. Is it the quote unquote bass boost on CD players or 3D image posters, the Magic Eye posters?
I knew it. I knew that's what you meant. I was like, is it the holographic ones or the fuck you ones?
You know, once I actually started listening to music on a really decent stereo system, I found that, I mean, I wanted to hear the bass line, but I really like the upper range of stuff too. That when I'm messing around with an EQ, I'm always, with EQ meters, I always like to hear the higher end. So I was not a big fan of the really, really, huge, thumping bass. So that would not be probably my favorite. Now, the interesting thing with me now, and I loved the 3D posters. I thought those were just so much fun. And of course, I miss the 3D posters because now, being monocular, I can't see them anymore. I have no depth perception. So, or very little depth perception, let's put it that way. So I have to go with 3D posters just by virtue of the fact that I can't even enjoy them anymore now that they're antiques.
3D Posters gets a vote off of that one. Kevin.
I am so sorry for my opinion on the matter, but I don't like those things, man.
No,
I got
problem,
two
Kev.
eyes and I can never see them, and I still got 2 eyes and I can still
I
never
thought maybe
see
they
them.
just tripped you out or something.
No, you know how many hours I've spent in my life trying to stare 2 feet through a piece of paper?
I
saw
don't think I want to know.
You don't want to know. I've tried to stare 5 feet. I've tried to stare 1 foot. I've tried to stare so many feet.
Bring it right up to your nose and you still can't fucking see the thing.
Oh my god. And I don't like bass boost either because of what it did to headphones. Every headphone is bass boosted now. I'm listening on a pair of monitor headphones right now for like music production because they're not bass boosted headphones. I loved them for a while back when they happened, but bass boost is getting my vote, I guess, because I don't like those things. They can't see them.
Aw.
Bass Boots gets an anti-vote, I guess, on that one. So
Like a
Protest
anti-hero
vote.
vote.
the lesser of two evils. Eric, is it the bass boost on CD players or 3D posters?
I'm going with a 3D poster. I'm also a kid who used to like watch that Scramble channel, but anyway, that's another story. But yes, I'm going with the 3D posters. Yeah.
With a boob that started over here and ended clear over here.
And it turned out it was green. That green boob always helped you. That green boob. Woo! I live with that green boob. That one good green.
It's like Total Recall all over again. That one's a boob, that one's a boob, and that one's a boob. It's just 3D posters gets that particular vote. My issue on that, I don't get a vote, but my issue on this one is that the bass boost always completely zapped your batteries. And batteries were fucking expensive. My grandmother ended up getting us all like rechargeable batteries because we ended up going through so many damn batteries. She's like, it's costing like $100 a month, and freaking, she got a decent job, but like $100 a month in batteries for Christmas instead of a gift, or one of the gifts that we would have gotten from her. She's got like a 4-pack of rechargeable batteries and a charger. Because of the fucking bass boost on our CD players, which is zapped every fucking thing that we had. So, and I still love 3D posters, although the 3D posters, the image that you saw eventually kind of sucked. Like there was like boats and dolphins and shit. I love dolphins, but they just weren't anything good. So both of these suck. And looking at the board, either one that moves on isn't moving out of the second round. So, Q, is it the bass boost on CD players or 3D posters?
See, when you put it on CD players, it changes my thought because like the bass boost on like my headset is great for when I'm playing Call of Duty. I can hear a footstep from fucking 50 meters away, and it's great, and I can tell exactly where it's coming from. But now you put the CD player in there, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I'm gonna have to go with the 3D posters.
You got to remember too, this is a 90s bracket.
I know.
Like, keep this topic in mind there, sir. Bubbles, CD bass boost or 3D posters? Finish it out.
I don't really care for either one of these. But
They care about you though.
Oh, I'm so glad they care about me. That's so kind. Oh, thanks, Freddie. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go with bass boost on this one. Just because I can.
Just to make it a split vote.
Yeah.
Kevin starts us off. Kevin, is it the free disc you got in the mail from AOL?
Yeah.
Or the JCPenney Christmas catalogs?
So,
Best.
what was in the JCPenney Christmas catalogs? I got more experience with the other one.
Everything was in these fucking magazines.
We never got.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Like the old
everything from lingerie to Legos, man. It was
of everything that you could just order over the mail.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember those books. That was like catalogs before the internet, and then the internet, like that was one of the first, like Bo Burnham with his The Internet song.
The original
Catalogs, travel blogs, because like catalogs was a big part of it. I remember that too, like finding a catalog and looking it up. What was it against?
The free
AOL
disc from the entire AOL thing that you got in the mail.
All those DIY projects you could do with those, like
Oh, I
making a
know, right?
mobile and fucking
Like fucking disco balls.
damn it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with catalog just because of what it turned into with the internet, kind of like my music vote, like the transition of it.
JCPenney Christmas catalogs gets a vote off of that one. Eric.
Oh yeah, JCPenney's Christmas catalog. That's it. Like I always like throughout. Like my mom would get it like probably in like August or September, and you had forever to plan these like your gifts you wanted.
Right.
And they were probably like this big. It was like a phone book, but it was big. But yeah, man, I just love that.
Just remember though, like the entire phone book type situation. For anybody's out there who has been hit with a phone book, either on purpose or on accident, these things hurt. This is like a New York City fucking phone book. These things were not tiny. This is an encyclopedia without the hardcover. It's just terrible across the board. But
and you would get them like once every like couple of months too. Like there's so many phone books. I'm surprised we don't even still have them.
Well, we still get phone books every once in a while, but it's just the yellow pages now because nobody wants their phone number listed anymore, right. And only like 10% of people actually have a landline. And most of those people just have it because it's connected to their internet. So, but the Christmas catalogs, my grandmother, I bring her up again. She would cut out the toy section for us, and so we wouldn't have to carry around the entire catalog. And she'd give us those little page marker type things, and so we could write down what our Christmas list would be. Which is one of the reasons why I make so many lists now, is because I know how to sit there and catalog, no pun intended, all of the stuff that I need to do. Yeah, it's just it gave me a way to organize my thoughts as an adult. Is this fucking JCPenney catalog and my grandmother? I got to give her that one. Q. JCPenney Christmas catalogs or the AOL free disc?
JCPenney's, I love your style. Yeah, JCPenney's.
Gets a vote. Bubbles.
Oh my goodness. I think it's great that everybody else has these same experiences of going through and like going and marking down or circling or making a list out of these.
Checking it twice.
Right. Because we would get them for the same thing, like, and we would sit there for like a couple of months and we would put like our initials, because there was 6 of us. So, next to things that we would like. And I don't think that my parents got these items from JCPenney's. I'm pretty sure they just searched around until they found similar items.
Yeah.
But either way, like I still do that with my kids. Like we'll get like the Christmas ads and stuff, and I'll have the kids sit down and like circle things that they're interested in. That way I know that whatever I get them is something that they're going to enjoy. So JCPenney catalog is my vote as well.
Hey, let me say something real quick. Hey, this is a true story. When I was 3 years old, I learned how my colors. Like it's looking through the little magnet to the catalog. Come on, they had like a bra in every color. So you had to go through it, and my mom would teach me the colors through that.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
That's
interesting.
My colors.
Well, no, it's something that it's not something that you would suspect, but realistically, it's a good thing. And if you're sitting there, especially with your mom, if you're sitting there looking at women's lingerie and bras and stuff the entire time, I think that would kind of desensitize you as an adult. So you don't.
No. I love titties. That's not.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm a fan of titties too. Big, small, I like them all. But if you take the taboo out of it, you're a lot less likely to become an offender.
Oh yeah.
So it's these small things that help people kind of adjust in life. That it's just there. It's just like having a pet that you take care of all the time makes you a better parent as an adult because you have that training to do that. So
I don't know. My goldfish died all the time, bro.
that's because there's freaking goldfish. We were talking about Tamagotchis last week. So
Those things never die.
Q, let's be honest here. I'm pretty sure that your children are living because you have Jess.
Yep.
That's mainly part of it. Yeah. I mean, that's why they.
Your
about
goldfish
90% of it.
Definitely a little suspicious, but I have all the confidence because you have Jess there.
If Sharon finishes this out, is it the JCPenney Christmas catalogs or the AOL free disc?
Totally the Christmas catalog. That was so much fun. I remember them when I was a kid, and they were still being pumped out in the 90s when my nieces and nephews were children, and we had such fun with them. It was a generational thing that we spent time with those together and picked out Christmas lists and birthday lists. Because you're right, they came early enough in the year often, or they came often enough that it wasn't always just for Christmas. You often got one that you could use at other times of year when you had a gift buying occasion or a gift receiving occasion.
I was gonna make a joke, but I don't know Eric enough to do this. So Eric, if you get offended by this, I apologize. Speaking of coming early and coming often, Eric, you get to start off.
You've been talking to my wife, man.
Is it the? And then it goes into fuzzy balls. So, is it the koosh ball or the no fear shirts?
I gotta remember the koosh ball. I don't remember that.
The koosh ball. You're probably gonna have to rely on Kevin on this one to come up with a picture.
Okay.
Kevin, you were killing it with
One
your
sec, I already got ready
right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did because this.
Oh,
this one,
I got it.
Okay.
I say this came up on a previous bracket, so I'm pretty sure he has the picture somewhere. So.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a rubber band ball, but like inverted.
If I were at my office in Lund, I actually still have one. So I could have actually shown you the real thing, but I don't have it here at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the other?
The no fear shirts is a no fear with a name brand.
The koosh balls, man. Like, I mean,
Koosh ball gets a vote off of that one. Q, is it the no fear shirts or koosh ball?
I'm going with Kooshi, bro. That was the shit back in the day.
The shit now. Bubbles.
Still is.
You know what, Freddie? First off, fuck you on this, okay? Because
I mean, if the offer's there.
Spicy. It's getting spicy.
I'm pretty sure
your
have husband get mad at me,
survived the 90s and have made it through the 2000s, 2010s, 2020s now, okay? Because I'm like 30% sure that if I go walk into the house and go to the toy box, like my kids have the koosh ball, right? Mm-hmm. And I know that I still see those no fear shirts all over the place. Like, I swear to God, everybody still fucking has them. So both of these are survivors, okay? But you know what? Like, I'm like, there's a small percentage of me that is assuming that part of my kink has come from the koosh ball. So we're gonna go with the koosh ball on this.
We kooshi, man.
Kooshi.
My kid, when my oldest, my middle child was in grade school, they would have the entire koosh ball. So if the teacher would throw the koosh ball at the child to catch, and the only person who could talk was the person with the koosh ball. So it kept an order going on in the entire thing, and I appreciate that because although it didn't work at home, it so Koosh Ball gets Bubbles' vote. Sharon, is it Koosh Ball or the No Fear shirts?
I actually never owned a No Fear shirt, but I had a ton of Koosh Balls. I love them. I love the way they felt in your hand, and I understand why they were used in classrooms that way because they were fairly easy to catch, even if you weren't a super coordinated person. Because of their properties, they were relatively easy even for small hands to catch. So I'm Koosh Ball all the way. Like I said, yeah, I still have one. If I was in my office in my actual office in Lund. But not in my home office. I have other toys here, but not the Koosh Ball. But I do still have one.
Well, that if you happen to miss it and it smacked you in the face, it's not going to hurt you.
Right, exactly. And it usually wasn't going to break anything if it wouldn't, if it landed on your desk or if if it hit another kid. Yep. Koosh Ball.
Kevin, finish one out. The Koosh Ball or the No Fear shirts?
Do you know what I can smell right now? I can't smell a No Fear shirt, that's for sure.
Ah, that's right. They had a very distinct scent.
A rubber band sound.
Yes.
I never owned a No Fear shirt, but I definitely, as soon as I Googled it, remembered them.
The eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That too.
The entire with that, Koosh Balls move on 5-0. This is sweep. My question is, with the exception of the No Fear shirts, did anybody ever own those like Big Dog shirts either? Name brand.
I never owned a No Fear shirt.
I feel like I know which ones you're talking about, but
the Big Dog shirts always had some kind of sexual undertone to it, like a joke on the back of them. They have the newest versions of it. I think Big Dog is still a company, but the new ones now are Big Dick's Halfway In. It's a restaurant. Actually it's a chain now. There's multiples, but there's the one I'm thinking of is down in Missouri, and they have shirts that because their brand is called Big Dick's Halfway In. So, yeah, it's like entire Dixon cider.
I was gonna say, is that like the Dickens cider? Enjoy a refreshing Dickens cider.
Yeah.
Over
there
ice.
You go. Big Dick's Halfway In.
So we have a smog shop, and our shirts on the back of them says, "Let me probe your tailpipe." With the tailpipe probe.
Wow.
Oh. Koosh Balls moves on 5-0. Faces 4-1 in the next round.
Freddie's like, I don't even have a segue with that one. I probing tailpipes.
Big dicks and tailpipes. That's amazing.
Yep. I'm not a king of transitions like freaking Bubbles is, but
I love when you call me king. Thank you.
Well, I would call you my queen, but you're married, and I'm pretty sure I'd get in trouble for that. All right. Q starts us off. Q, is it I'm gonna lose this vote here off of Q. Is it the Monday Night Wars, or Now That's What I Call Music?
What the fuck is Monday Night Wars?
You're not a wrestling fan, but I will explain this to everybody else out there. The Monday Night Wars were between the WCW brand and the WWF brand, where kids who were wrestling fans, and wrestling was bigger back then than it is now. It's getting closer. Like it's almost up there now because it's more of a worldwide thing. But where WCW and WWF played at the same time. They both started around like 7 p.m. for me.
Just to see who got more views?
Yeah, and it was back and forth. I think WCW beat them 83 weeks in a row. And then the only reason I know that is because Eric Bischoff, who was part of that, has a podcast called 83 Weeks. So he still kind of boasts about that. But eventually WWF turns the tide when Mick Foley won his first championship, and since WWF was taped and Nitro Monday Night at Nitro was not, they gave away the results on Nitro, and then a large amount of people switched from watching WCW to WWF that night, and that's when that entire thing happened, and that was the fall of WCW, plus the booking was terrible type thing. So, but you had kids and adults and everything else that would switch back and forth every commercial, and it was a huge fucking deal. It's still and it's still talked about today. It's either that or now that's what I call music, which is up past 100 different albums now.
That's what I call music 1087. Let's go. I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go with the Now CDs. Yeah.
Now CDs gets a vote off of that one. Bubbles.
I remember with the Now CDs, like when you would have to wait, and they would do them yearly, but then they started like producing music like way faster, and so then they had to start putting out those Now CDs much faster. So that's why we're up in the hundreds now. But I'm gonna go with the Now CDs on this. I'm not a wrestling person, so I mean I'm pretty sure that Freddie is not surprised with my vote. But I love Now 69.
Yeah, I was going to
Tim?
comment when you were done about his choice of particular album on that one.
Right? That was not the album I was thinking of. I was thinking of like Now fucking 10 or something like that. NSYNC.
I have Now 2 in the car.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Songs are on it.
Antique.
Yeah.
It's antique.
I think it has. I think it has like "Baby One More Time" on it too, and one of my favorite songs out there, which nobody else likes, but I love it. It's Boz Lerman's "Everybody's Free to Wear Sunscreen."
Never heard of that.
I know. It's one of those things that nobody knows. It's the entire. It's a speech song, but it's set to music, and it's a graduation type thing, but it's still one of my favorite ones. Sharon, I think we're up to you.
Yeah, I think it's my turn. I also not a big wrestling fan. Never paid attention to it. I know who Hulk Hogan is, and that's about the only wrestler I could ever name for you.
The Rock.
So I have
The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley, Mankind, Undertaker. Come on.
I know
Batista, John Cena.
I don't know any. I know who The Rock is because I've seen him in movies, but I don't know. I don't know why he was in a movie. I never seen him wrestle. I guess. I would say that. So I will go with the Music Now CDs. For that reason,
all right. We have an entire bracket next week dedicated to wrestling, so I'm okay with Monday Night Wars not going on. That's all right. Kevin, now this is what I call music or the Monday Night Wars.
I think I recognize 3 of those names y'all just listed, and I know The Undertaker, but that's because I know people who know wrestling, and I've heard them say the word The Undertaker.
Right, I couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with now that's what I like. Y'all remember those clip beats or whatever the fuck it was called, where you got like the song, and yeah, like I don't know why, like that's totally different, but or maybe it was, I don't know, but that's just what I instantly thought of when this came up. But
it was the same music on the CDs as it was those little clip beats.
So yeah, now it's getting my vote.
All right, Eric, give me at least one vote here. Is it Monday Night Wars or now that's what I call music?
Hey, first of all, I am surprised. All right, hey, man, look, I love music, man, but also I'm not a wrestling fan now. But the 90s, I was a big time wrestling fan. So you know what I'm saying? That was the superstar era. Like that was the best time to be a wrestling fan. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be like Monday Night Raw. I mean, Raw. Hey, hold on. Matter of fact, it was an actual like I remember it was a battle they had, and when Shane McMahon bought WCW, and it was this It was this big old thing. Y'all don't understand. That was like, as a kid, that was the biggest thing in the world, man, to see wrestling on Monday nights. And then when they had what was it? SmackDown when The Rock took over. Like it was big, but like, it was a big thing when we was kids.
The event that Eric's talking about is when Vince McMahon bought WCW, he appeared on both and both of these shows were airing at the same time. So bought Raw and bought WCW. So he appeared on Raw and Nitro at the same time. These were competing companies. This would be like Elon Musk buying out Mark Zuckerberg. So that's what the equivalent of this would be. And having him on all of the Facebook vids and all at the same time. So it was completely unheard of. Where Shane comes in is that Shane came in with a contract. It was all a storyline where he's like, there is a McMahon on the sheet, but it doesn't say Vince McMahon. It says Shane McMahon, and it went to a whole new storyline. And this was before dirt sheets and podcasts and all that stuff was really big about wrestling. So nobody knew this was a thing. Nobody heard anything about it. It just happened after the Monday Night Wars, where everybody was had a side, and then all of a sudden they were one company, and it was just flabbergasted everybody at the same time, and it was hell of a time to be alive.
Let's do a lot of crossovers, man, because Hogan would go to from WCW over to WWF to fight.
Mm-hmm.
It would be this big old thing, and Sting came from WWF. Sting came from WCW, then he went to WWF, and it was a big.
Well, no, Sting didn't come to WWF until
way late,
2019.
Well, I know Sting went back to ECW during that time. At the NWO went out, and it was a big thing for
there's a whole bunch of them. It was huge. Either way, I'm glad I got one vote at least. Thank you for humoring me on that one.
Thank you for the pity vote, Eric. That's what
you don't understand. That was like the 90s wrestling was like Jack Hansen had nothing.
I will have to agree with him. 90s wrestling was the shit. I had to watch Monday Night Raw every fucking Monday. I had to be home at 8 o'clock to watch that shit till fucking 10. If I wasn't, I was pissed.
Can somebody let me know if I made this up in my head, but was there a wrestler that would take somebody out and fart in their face?
No, there was a guy that would put his ass in their face, and his name was Rikishi.
There we go. Yeah, that guy. I don't know why I thought he
big Samoan dude.
Well, surely he farted occasionally.
Right. I actually have a picture of. Yeah, I actually have a picture of him and myself together too.
There's a lot of ass.
Right over there.
There's a lot of ass.
There's a lot of ass.
A lot of ass. He did that at a local show too, and I'm sitting there. Now, granted, as a wrestling fan as I am, I would take that as that spot as a spot of freaking honor, and a majority of wrestling fans would too. It's nasty as hell. I'm aware of that, but just to say that you've taken a stink face from Rikishi, the Rikishi, that's.
God rest his soul till he passed. Yeah.
I don't think I'd feel honored. I think I'd feel gross and have to scrub my face.
But you're not a big wrestling fan, though.
You don't know this. Okay, yeah, you do, but
yeah. All right. That's what I call music. Now that's what I call music. Moves on 4-1 to the next round. Bubbles starts us off. Comes back to last week. Bubbles. Is it Blockbuster or Lunchables?
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
God, because I love lunch. I still eat Lunchables. Now that I can't eat like I used to, Lunchables are the perfect just lunch, I guess, because it's small. But Blockbuster, man, I fucking loved Blockbuster. I loved going in and picking out the movies. I hated the late fees, but
We'll return it on time. You wouldn't have to deal with those.
listen, I lived out in the middle of nowhere, okay? It took an hour to get into town, okay? We did have a horse. We had 2 horses, actually.
So it's not a one-horse town?
It was not a 1-horse town because we had 2. But we had no stoplights. So I'm gonna go Blockbuster on this one. That one's gonna get my vote.
Blockbuster gets a vote off of that one. Sharon Sharon gets the next vote. Is it Blockbuster or Lunchables?
I also had an affinity for both of them, but I do have some memories of either missing a deadline or you had to return your films to Blockbuster by a certain time the following day or whatever. And was there also like if you didn't yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Lunchables because they didn't give me nearly the anxiety that getting stuff back to Blockbuster on time did. So we'll go with Lunchables.
Did anybody see the proper way to make the pizzas?
No.
I think only you did.
No.
Nobody saw. Okay. Apparently,
Sauce, cheese, pepperoni.
no. What you do is like you're not supposed to. You put the sauce on the little disc thing, but you dip the pizza in the cheese. That's what that big. You're supposed to put the cheese in the little spot where the discs were, and then you put the cheese in there. So you dip it and then you eat it. So you get a proper. Because if
What
you
about
don't,
the pepperoni though?
well, you
Then
add the
it's like
pepperoni on top.
Uneven amount of cheese, but no, I don't. I think that sounds stupid because if they wanted you to dip their pizza in the cheese, they should have put the cheese in a bigger spot, not in little.
Well,
like who
that's
wants
where
to
you-
just
that's
like
where you put
like,
the cheese.
We just you just practice this motion here. We
Hey,
scoop that cheese out of there. Come on.
I mean,
come on.
are you really complaining about that though?
No, because
I mean, I'm lazy enough. I get a spoon and I would scoop it out and like put it into the other container so I could, pick it up easier.
That particular motion has served me quite well.
Hey, yo.
I wish I had my buttons.
All right. Lunchables gets Sharon's votes. Kevin, is it Lunchables or Blockbuster?
What's the vote going at so far?
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter if it's a tie game.
Oh, it's a tie game?
Yep.
So it's 0-0 right now for all you know.
Damn it. I still, as Bubbles said, I still eat Lunchables to this day too. I will always be down for a pizza's Lunchable. It's fire.
All lifelines are still in play, by the way.
I think I might do as Mary would say, pass the parcel on this one.
Oh, that was the last episode you were on. Okay. The episode in question, by the way, is the Bluey episode, which is what this particular one is named for. Back there, for all you parents out there know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Passing the parcel to me on this one is Kevin. Kevin, we will be going with. I'm not a fan of Lunchables. I think they taste like crap. The only good thing
that's fair. That's
the
fair.
only good thing in a Lunchable is the Reese's peanut butter cup,
The dessert.
and possibly if you're rich enough, the entire juice, the Capri Sun. That's it. However, Blockbuster, it's where I got a majority of my fandom for movies, I guess, because they had all the movies and all the snacks and a really hot server girl that was there too when I was a young teenager. So, her name was Ashley. Wink, wink. Blockbuster will be getting our vote off of that one. Eric.
Hey, truth be told, I only went to Blockbusters maybe like once as a kid. We had another video store that was across the street. It was like down the street from us. It called Home Videos. It was the same thing, but anyway. But Lunchables, man. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I'm eating that cardboard pizza. I'm gonna eat that.
Yes.
It's not a problem.
Yes.
Ain't no problem for me. Throw some extra cheese on it. I'm gonna eat it. Now I never like I thought I was a rich kid when we did get the ones with the juice in it. If I had the one with the juice in it and a snack, we eating good tonight. Like, but
right, that's how you know that your parents are doing all right, because you have the Lunchable with the juice.
Which means it is a tie-breaking decision coming down to Q. Q, we are in the second half of round one, which means we know who will be facing in the next round. Do you want to use this option?
Nah, fuck it. I like surprises.
Right. Is it Blockbuster or Lunchables?
I agree with Eric. I'm eating that fucking cardboard fucking pizza all goddamn day.
Come on.
I'm eating it. I'm eating it sober. I'm eating it high. I'm eating it any fucking kind of way I can. It's cheap. It's there. It's not very good, but I'm fucking eating the shit.
Never good. Never.
That could be taken completely out of context.
So I didn't
What's your final cue?
My final answer is definitely Lunchables for sure.
Yeah. Sorry. I just wanted to say I didn't get to say anything about the Blockbuster. I was a family video family. So I mean, that's just my comment on that before it goes out the window.
Lunchables moves on, faces another 3-2 in the next round. Sharron starts us off on this one. Is it the almighty flip phone or FUBU?
Who didn't have a flip phone?
Who didn't have FUBU?
Yeah. Good
Me.
point.
I did.
I'm gonna have to go with a flip phone. I just thought they were cool, and I used to love it when it loosened up to the point where I could literally do this, kind of like a communicator on Star Trek, and open up my phone like that. That was my favorite thing. But then I always end up breaking them, So I'm gonna go with a flip phone.
Flip phone gets a nod off that one, Kevin.
I ain't no Abercrombie and bitch. I ain't no Hollis store. I ain't no fucking Loyal Brandis. Nothing. Brands turn me off, man. I'm gonna go with flip phone, I guess.
Gets another one,
Actually,
Eric.
My first phone was actually a Razor flip phone.
I mean, as much as I love a flip phone, I gotta do it. I gotta do it for the culture. Because I'm a black man, so I gotta go FUBU.
Culture aside, by the way, I would go with FUBU as well. Their jerseys and shit were fucking fantastic, and the quality.
I had 10 fake FUBU jerseys. I understand. It was all.
The quality of these clothes were fantastic.
That thick plastic that was on the back of it with the name. Oh yeah, it was heavy as hell.
I mean, somebody who's wearing a jersey right now, like, trust me, I have about 30 of them. I have 30. I don't have a FUBU jersey anymore, but I have about 30 jerseys upstairs. I love the quality of their fucking clothes. Would have gotten my vote, not voting today. Q, is it flip phone or FUBU?
What the fuck is a FUBU?
For us, by us.
For us, by us.
Okay, then. I'm gonna go
It's a name
flip phone.
brand.
I didn't even know what the hell it was. So.
FUBU is as you can tell by Kevin's screen, FUBU is a name brand of clothing. As he switches to flip phone.
I know that timing.
Good old razors, man.
They had the jerseys, jeans. I think I've seen a couple pairs of socks from them too. They were shoes, all across the board. But yeah, flip phone gets that vote from Q. Bubbles finishes out.
Okay. I don't know anybody who does not feel that sense of satisfaction when you angry fucking slam that flip down on somebody, fucking hang that shit up, except for when it didn't hang up and you're talking shit and they can still hear you and your phone hung up.
Or you got your fingers in between, fucking snapping your damn fingers.
Right. However, Q, have you never watched How High? Have you never watched it? Like when he's
What? Are you shitting me right?
the animation guy when he's in the fucking office, and the guy and the principal is, what are you wearing? And he's like, boo boo foo. Like,
I
I
forgot
always
about
bring
that
that
part.
stuff out on.
from fucking there, my guy. Okay, like, Jesus. Q, get your shit together. Okay? Specifically for that fucking movie, I'm picking FUBU, although I do love flip phones.
Flip phone moves on 3-2 to the next round. Kevin starts us off. Is it? I'm so glad this is going to you. Is it Nickelodeon or the Furby?
Oh, damn it.
Which version of the Furby are we talking about? Because we've
The
got
90s version of the Furby.
Yeah, the
there's
Furby
two in the
Furby.
90s.
What?
Original.
What's the second one?
So the original looks like the Gremlins, which is why it's no longer a thing. So they had to update it and like change its ears a little bit so it didn't look like the Gremlin characters.
Hashtag copyright infringement.
Yes.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Once. So it's Furby versus Nickelodeon. I mean, I think I already know which way my vote is going to go, which it sucks to say because I like Furbies. They're a classic. They horrified us as they woke up in the night for no reason, like a ghost was there. But animation, man, I grew up on Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney, hopping between all of them, whichever animated show was on, that was my favorite. And that was something I grew out of for like 2 years of my life because I quote unquote grew up. And then I just realized what the fuck, there is like animation is like peak media. Nothing can compare to it. So I am going to toss my vote to Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon gets a nod. Eric.
Hey yo, like this is no I mean there's no fight right here, but I'm going Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon in the 90s was the best. You know, it was so many original shows they had for kids. It was more than just cartoons in the 90s. So Nickelodeon was what Disney Channel is now, it was Nickelodeon was in the 90s. Like it was the best.
I would still say Nickelodeon in the 90s is better than Disney Channel now.
Yeah, I mean, well, Disney Channel in the 2000s. Disney Channel
early 2000s was fucking peak Disney.
Yeah, but Nickelodeon in the 90s had Salute Your Shorts.
Hey, dude.
Like come on, like Nickelodeon in the 90s.
Nickelodeon gets another one. Q, is it Nickelodeon or Furby?
Nickelodeon.
Gets the vote and the win off of that one. Bubbles, Nickelodeon, Furby.
Does anybody remember like the old Nick
No.
Jr. face?
Oh yeah, the whole screen was
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey there, face here.
It's still there if you watch like the entire Dora episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the Nutella right now, the like picture on Nutella. I swear to God, it's Face from Nickelodeon. Like Face made a comeback on Nutella. So I will take a picture and send it in group chat. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give my vote to Furby. I love Furby. My first Black Friday experience was not a good one, and it involved the Furby. Okay, so like I remember sitting outside of Walmart and like waiting at the door. I was face stuck to the window to get in, and they had these Furbies, and if you were the first of so many, you got it for like, I think it was only like $5. It was like super cheap. See,
Kevin put that back up.
It is up. It's still there.
Oh, there you go. Oh, sorry, bigger size.
But so I, as this tiny like 6-7-year-old, like I was itty bitty, made it and collected this Furby, and this cunt decided to come in and swoop it from me, and I'm still salty. Okay, that was my first experience in distrusting humanity, and I think this is where my angry shopping problem has come from and stems from, and I have to get it if it's in my hands. Like, nope, it's mine, and like I protect it. Like, don't touch my things. And I think it was that lady. And if she finds this and sees this ever, just know I remember you, and you fucking suck. You are an asshole.
Hey, yo, hello. Can we talk about Black Friday for a quick second? Black Friday back then was some. The first time I ever hit an old man in the face over a Barbie's dream car.
The first time he did it. He's done it several times since.
Last time, but it was certainly the first time.
The first time, I had to be like 11 years old, but I put some dead in his face with my little sister's dream car.
I'm so glad that I'm not the only one that caught the entire first time bit. I'm like, really? Like, over a Barbie dream card, you did it the second time too, or it's just...
Hey, I got kids now.
Year after year.
Oh man, he shit on me.
Oh man.
All right, Sharon, to finish this one out. Is it Furby or Nickelodeon?
What is there? What's the count? Does it matter?
Nickelodeon 3, Furby 1. So Nickelodeon will moving on with your vote.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but there's a really compelling documentary out right now called Quiet on Set: The Dark Side of Kids TV.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, and it specifically talks. I mean, it talks about a lot of different kinds of television, kids television that was being produced at that time, but it specifically focuses a little bit on Dan Schneider's tenure as a producer and showrunner at Nickelodeon. And it sounds like as much fun as kids may have had watching it, it sounds like the kids who actually worked there had a really, really tough time and not a very good experience. So for that reason alone, I'm going to go with a Furby.
3-2 faces another.
Also, I'll recommend the documentary.
Yeah, solid reasoning. Must watch. It's horrifying.
There's another Nickelodeon documentary one that actually talks about the making of it. It's pretty good. Can't remember the name of it. It has something to do with the color orange. Last up in the first round, so these are the last two things in this entire thing. And Eric starts this off. Is it the Trapper Keeper?
Okay.
Or Frosted Tips?
You say frosted nips or tips?
Tips. Tips, but I like where your mind's at.
Hey, yo. Hey. Oh, damn. Hey, yo, so I'm gonna go. That was funny as hell. I'm gonna do the Trapper Keeper. I feel like you had to have a little bit of money to have one, but like I said, I'll go with that one because I'm gonna be always honest. I'm a black. I had a blonde streak one time. That was the closest thing I'm gonna get to Frosted Tips. But yeah,
Trapper Keeper gets a vote on that one. I did have Frosted Tips at one time. I had well past the 90s. I had a friend of mine who was going to beauty school and needed practice, and I was about to get my hair cut anyway. So I'm like, yeah, if you want to do it to practice to see if it work out. And the next day I had a schedule to get my hair cut, so the entire thing got cut off anyway because I have short hair, and I had shorter hair at that point. So
did she at least do a good job?
He did do a good job, actually. It was a little, if I remember right, it was a little bit more frosted on one side than the other. So, like, it faded more dark to light as you went on the other side. So it's like I had a solid light source always. It was weird. But it was only there for a day, and I was trying to help him out, and it is what it was. So
did you put that half a water balloon in your head and pluck them out? Like,
no, he did it by hand.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he just did it. Grabbed a little section and did it real quick, and that's why I think it bled off to that side because he started on one end like one side, which was the lighter side, and then eventually they kept being folded over to the other side. So I think it just kind of bled over, which is a problem, but it was all right. It happened. Q, frosted tips.
Nip.
Trapper keeper.
Frosted nips, man.
Frosted tips.
I'm saying
vote off
tips.
of that one. For those who, my mind automatically went to the new Deadpool movie because they have like a minute tirade about different names for cocaine.
Okay, that's fine. No spoilers.
No. We don't do spoilers on their show unless the movie's
I'm so excited to see it. I want to go see it so bad.
It's fucking fantastic. It really is.
It is. It's worth
Frosted
seeing.
Nips is a good thing. It's a good name for cocaine, though.
Yeah. So it's like a whole bunch of cocaine on a woman's chest. Would you just call that frosted nips?
Oh,
Like,
gosh.
sounds like a cereal. Just
Hey, mom, you got some frosted nips?
I mean, I wouldn't ask my mom that one, but okay.
Hey, you got a box of frosted nips in there?
Bubbles, do you happen to have any frosted nips, or you want to go with Trapper Keeper?
You know what? We're gonna just frost these nips over here. I don't know. I love the frosted tips. Okay, that is definitely the 90s, and I love when I see random people that have it now, and I'm like, oh, just the nostalgia. Go you! You are living in a happier time. Keep it up. So,
That's the same person I was actually thinking about as far as frosted tips too. That guy, Fairy or Fury or Fieri or where the hell he is.
Yeah, Fieri, yeah.
But the person I think of is Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the entire frosted tips.
You know what I really think about? You know what I really think about?
Yeah.
Oh, what's
the first?
What's the guy named Matthew Lillard?
Oh yeah.
He in every movie he had except for Scooby-Doo.
Which, by the way, for people who are a fan of Mr. Lillard, we are doing a bracket dedicated to him later on this year as well.
Okay.
He's been in a whole bunch of cool shit. So,
Is Five Nights at Freddy's on the bracket?
yes.
Okay, good. I was gonna say if you didn't put Five Nights at Freddy's on that bracket, I might say fuck you, Freddy.
She's All That, which is the movie that we were just discussing in chat. By the way, he's in that movie as well. Plays a major douchebag character. Frosted Tips gets that particular vote though. Sharron, is it Frosted Tips or Trapper Keepers?
I'm pretty sure the Trapper Keeper was the origination of my obsession with office supply stores and notebooks and nice pens and organizational shit. I
So
think
it ruined your life.
I was so, and every year I got a new one because I would wear the one that I had out. So that was the high point of buying school supplies any given year was getting my Trapper Keeper for the coming year. So I got to go with the Trapper Keeper.
Which I was gonna get Bubbles' reaction on something, but she's currently taking care of something.
On the horn.
Kevin, you are tie-breaking decision on this one, and you also get the option to know who is facing in the next round, or what is facing in the next round. Do you want this option?
Sure.
All right. It is either Trapper Keeper with 2 votes or Frosted Tips with 2 votes. Will be facing Will Smith in round 2.
You know, for some reason, Frosted Tips versus Will Smith just sounds like a good matchup. I don't know. It just flows off the tongue. I had blonde hair when I was younger, and I did Liberty spikes. Like, I did some weird shit when I was young. I was also bald at one point, but that was not my choice. That was my mom, as a punishment, shaving too close to my head, and then all of a sudden I'm bald. Hello.
Hey, don't be fucking with bald people, dude.
Oh no, it wasn't as a bad thing. I'm just saying I wasn't expecting it. I actually loved it. It was actually awesome. I got like a nickname when it was going. I rocked it. I loved it. I'm just saying I wasn't expecting it.
This is by choice for everybody out there. By the way, this is by choice. I I just fucking hate dealing with my hair, so I just take a skull shaver and shave the damn thing off as much as I can. So, so your final votes: Frosted Tips or Shopper Keeper?
Oh fuck! I thought I had something to say for Trapper Keeper. I don't.
Frosted Tips it is, then, bro.
No, that's right. I don't really have much to say for Trapper Keepers other than like organization. Cool. Fuck yeah. OCD brain. Yay. But Frosted Tips versus Will Smith is the bracket I want.
Okay.
And that's why I always ask that question. Frosted Tips moves on 3-2, faces a 4-1 in the next round. We'll be right back after this break. Sharron has not been on here for a minute. She's been out doing cool things. What you been up to?
Oh, good golly. Well, I'm still doing my regular bi-weekly shows on the music platform Station Head. It's a kind of a radio kind of a thing on Sundays and Wednesdays. I'm also on Instagram and Threads at Viking.diaries. And pretty much all my online activity gets kind of pumped into my blog at thevikingdiaries.com.
And if I remember right, you just had a trip to the U.S. recently?
I did. I was in the U.S. for 2 weeks in June. My oldest niece got married in central coastal California. It was fantastic.
Is it as good as you remember it being abroad?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I love. We were talking about California a little bit earlier. I love it. It's a great place to visit. I know there are challenges to living there, but good golly, it's a beautiful place. And this was kind of fun because it turned out being a little bit of a destination wedding for my entire family. And so we got some good quality time together, which you often doesn't happen around a big event like that. So it was a great trip.
Yeah. And a first time guest on the show, Eric.
Hey.
What you been up to?
Hey, nothing much, man. Still trying to keep my head above water. That's what I'm doing right now. But I have my podcast show, Random Thoughts with Eric G's. It's coming out in September 19th. I'm kicking it all with a tipsy karaoke. I do it I normally do it for my season finale, but I'm doing it for my season opener this year. On my show, we talk about any and everything. And if you name it, we done talked about it. Sex, love, kids. Hey, you welcome to come on? You're welcome to come on. Hey,
I don't really drink. That bottle is about 2 years old at this point, and it's still
well, come on, take a shot
full.
They take one shot of it and sing your heart out. That's all I need. But just come on to my show is Tipsy Karaoke. I got Tipsy Karaoke. We're gonna be my beginning of my my podcast season. And also, nice meeting you. Hey, but also, like I said, I'm available everywhere. Random Thoughts with Eric G. If you go on my TikTok, you get to hear my real random thoughts. Well, I'm just sitting in my car talking about whatever pops in my mind. But also just find me on all platforms. It's Random Thoughts with Eric G. Trust me, you're gonna find something that you're gonna like. And I'm trying to stop cussing this year. I'm trying to slow back on the cussing because I'm going off.
Oh, don't feel about it. We cuss all the time here. We have a disclaimer at the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. It's a rather new one. It says we say ass fucking bitch pretty often. So it literally says that during the disclaimer. Like, I wanted a little girl's voice to do it, but I couldn't find one. So
I remember that.
And my recordings were sending, so
man. Yeah, but I'm trying. My wife want me to. She's like, can you calm down? I'm trying to get people in the church to listen to it. I'm like, I'll try.
Well, I mean, if they do, they're just gonna have another reason to go to church, right? So
hey, come on now.
That's repeat customers. We were having a discussion last week, and I kind of want to hear Sharon's thoughts on this one because we were just talking about like Office Max and all that stuff.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on the troll doll pencil toppers?
I remember. I certainly remember having them when I was in school. And I loved the I love the various different colors of hair. I was always trying to find the ones that had the most outrageous colors of hair. I remember really liking the neon green and the neon purple. But gosh, you don't see those anymore. I
Nope.
haven't seen one of those in ages.
We had multiple spots last week about talking about how the pencil toppers always went up the troll dolls' butts.
Yes.
Anyway, welcome back for round two. welcome back for round two. Q is back on board. Okay, Q's vote. Q, is it the 3D image posters or the Simpsons?
Simpsons all the way. The 3D posters, like you said, were after you saw the image, it still wasn't even it wasn't even cool. But the Simpsons, always there. They predict in the future. Let's get it.
Meh. Bubbles.
It was the 3D poster and what?
Simpsons.
Oh, it's absolutely the Simpsons. Simpsons are just like a cornerstone in life.
Gets another one, Sharron.
I got to go with the Simpsons as well. I feel like it's well, come on. You can still watch it today. They're still cranking out episodes. Simpsons.
No.
Gets another one and the vote and the win off of that one, Kevin.
The Simpsons. Oh God, I'm sorry. I am sorry about that. My throat. I have that was bad, but the Simpsons. The end.
And Eric, finish us out. Is it the Simpsons or 3D posters?
It's the Simpsons in 3D. No, but it's the Simpsons.
They've done that.
It's the Simpsons all day. I watch the old episodes now. I go back and watch the old episodes.
Yep.
What do you guys think about the Simpsons movie?
Going on in the next 10 years.
I'm very appreciative about the Simpsons being on here because the internet won last week.
Yeah.
And I think the Simpsons is one of the very few things that we have on this entire bracket that might actually contend
Could go up against it.
To go against it in the finals. So I'm glad they're on opposite sides. Bubbles starts us off. Bubbles, is it the J.C. Penney's Christmas catalogs or Big Wheels?
J.C. Penney's catalogs, hands down.
Gets a vote, Sharron.
I'm gonna be contradictory here and go with Big Wheels. Just because I can still hear that sound in my head.
Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go with I'm blurry. I'm gonna go with Big Wheels 2 again, because of The Shining. Yeah, and I'm gonna be a ghost apparently, a spooky ghost.
Come play with us, Danny.
I like how Kevin just a spooky ghost.
He is, with all those icons around him.
Eric.
Hey, Big Wheels all day. Big Wheels all day.
J.C. Penney Christmas catalog bites the dust. Q, finish this out.
Bro, you gotta have that big dick energy. So I gotta go with the Big Wheels. Funny story about Big Wheels. When I was younger, I actually let a kid take mine for a spin because he didn't have one. Never came back.
Aww, that's a sad story, Q.
R.I.P.
Hey, let's go find them. I got you. Let's go find
You
them.
guys remember when you would one of the wheels would wear out first, and then you just see one, and then it would be cha-chunk, cha-chunk.
I was thinking the same thing when the topic came up again.
Big Wheels moves on 4-1 to the next round. Sharron starts us off on this one. Is it Jerry Springer or Now That's What I Call Music?
Well, I'm gonna have to again because it was such a lift for me when I was feeling low, and I gotta go with Jerry Springer, and I agree with you your comments in the first round how that really kind of changed the face of talk shows on television. So Jerry Springer for me. Rest in peace.
Gets a vote. Speaking of the rest in peace comment, at the end of this year, like we do every year, there will be a memorial show for all the people, all the stars and stuff that we lost this year. So stay tuned for that one. Hopefully we don't have to add a lot more people to it this year.
I don't know. It's only August.
I know. Jerry gets a vote off of that one. Kevin, is it Jerry Springer or Now That's What I Call Music?
I appreciate what he did for the industry, but I'm going to give it to the musics.
Gets a vote, Eric.
Hey, I'm going with Jerry Springer, man. Me and my son watched when he was 6 from school, so it brings the family together.
Jerry Springer, Bob Barker, and Sprite.
Brings the family together every time.
Brings the family together by seeing how fucked up other families are.
That's amazing, ain't it?
Freddie, you were right. It was not Sprite when you were sick. It was 7-Up.
It was ginger ale.
Ginger ale.
No. Remember, we were the bougie ones. We had the rich people sodas. Jerry gets a vote from Eric on that one. Q, is it Jerry Springer or Now That's What I Call Music?
Oh, it's got to be Jerry. I've seen more Jerry than I've listened to those Now CDs, for damn sure.
Jerry.
Gets a vote and a win off of that one. Bubbles, finish us out.
Listen, I love me some Jerry Springer because, we all know I like the tea. I like the down and the dirty. I like to be in the know. No, I'm not going to go spread anybody's thing because really it's not my business, but please make it my business so that I can just know things. If you just feel like oversharing, it's not oversharing. I'm happy to read it, okay? But at the same time, Now, I love Now. So I'm going to go ahead. I am going to give my vote to Now on this one.
Jerry moves on 3-2 to the next round. Kevin starts us off on this one. Is it the flip phone or the street light rule? Both of these moved on in a split vote last round.
I didn't give street light rule my vote in the first round, so I'm going to toss to this one just because, I didn't live in the city. I knew people who lived in the city, so I knew about the streetlight rule. I grew up in the country where there was no streetlight rule because
there were no streetlights.
Just come home.
You have that entire freaking triangle dinner bell type thing. That just
ding, dinner's ready. Come on home.
Oh my God, we had one of those and we used it.
Yes.
It gets a vote. Eric. Streetlight rule, flip phones.
Hey, I'm gonna go with flip phones. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The first time I ever got lost while driving was using a flip phone, trying to get the GPS directions, and you got to keep hitting the up button to read it. So, yeah, I'm going back with flip phones for the memories, man.
One of the things I hate about flip phones is the entire trying to send text messages and have the most common letter in the English fucking alphabet, with the exception of E, is like S and T, and they're right next to each other, and you have to push the number 8 button or something like that 4 times just to get a single fucking letter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it
sucks when you're trying to drive
text or something like that? Isn't that what it the type when you have to press the number buttons to get your words and stuff? Isn't it called TTL text?
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue. I'm not that smart.
Like that, or T9 or something. I don't remember.
T9.
I'm pretty sure it's
T9. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's T9.
T9 never had the right
word. Flip phone gets that vote. Q, is it streetlight rule or flip phones?
I mean, you're complaining about how the texting worked on there, but I got so used to the keys and everything and knowing exactly how many numbers or how many times I hit the number. I could literally send you a book just
from your pocket,
looking at my phone.
Yeah, me too. I remember that. Yep.
So I'm gonna go with the flip phone.
Let's say you get somebody good enough, they can send text messages from their pocket when they're doing their test. Just, with their non-dominant hand too. I'm sitting there, I'm right-handed. I'm sitting there writing shit down and texting with my other hand. I couldn't do it, but I appreciate the people who fucking knew how. Bubbles, is it the streetlight rule or the quote unquote the latch people of the latchkey kids or the flip phone?
I mean, again, like I said, I love the satisfaction of I'm hanging up on you. However, I love that streetlight rule. Go play, go adventure, go explore, go get bruises and scrapes on your knees and have fun and come back with an awesome story. So streetlights are for me.
Although I do personally think the
In them streets.
better hang up is when it's the fucking wall phone. That has a better sound to it.
Just anything, the rotary phone in general. Whether
rotary phones are even better.
No, I'm gonna tell you. You ever see somebody get mad at a payphone and he try to like he's smacking it? Yo,
that's why those things don't work anymore, man. So, it is a tie game. Coming down to Sharron. Sharron, is it the streetlight rules or the flip phone?
Oh my goodness. I knew this was eventually going to land with me. Not this particular matchup, but one of the finals would land with me. I really, I share Bubbles' nostalgic feel for the streetlight rule. I love that, my mom basically tossed us out of the house after dinner on a summer evening and said, I'll see ya when the street lights start to come on. And I think kids, like you mentioned the screen time earlier. We're so sedentary. I read somewhere the other day about how, sitting is like the new smoking in terms of it, not being good for your health. I just love that. So I'm gonna pick streetlight rule over the flip phone.
Streetlight rule gets to vote and the win off of that one. That's a long thing to write down.
It's flippity dippity hippity hip hop.
It's a good movie. Eric starts us off. Is it? And I'm really glad Kevin finishes this one because this is his fault. Is it Will Smith or Frosted Tips?
Will Smith, Willard Smith, if I gotta be correct.
Shout out Harvey on that one. Q, is it Will Smith or Frosted Tips?
I mean, I'm definitely going to be looking at some, frosted nips or some frosted tits before I look at Will Smith. So I got to go with the frosted tips.
Gets a vote. Bubbles.
There you go. Them frosted nips is crazy.
Eric, did you call him Willard Smith?
That's his
name.
His name is really Willard?
Yeah.
Willard Smith the third. The second. I'm sorry.
J. Middle initials J, I think too.
Yeah, Willard Smith the second.
That's such a grandpa name, Grandpa Willard.
Why do you think he goes by Will?
Yeah. His son name is Willard Smith the third. He go by Trey.
That's right.
That's nice.
That's funny. I almost want to vote for him just for that fact right there. I had no idea. The more you know, you learn something new every day. Thanks, guys. Only on Bracket Bastards.
Knowledge is power.
Start just drawing shapes.
Sorry to the entire Disney wand type thing.
Exactly.
It was Will Smith and what?
Frosted Tips. Thank you, Kevin.
Frosted Tips.
Or according to Q, Frosted Nips.
Or frosted tits, either way.
I do. I like the Frosted Tips. I do totally dig that. But at the same time, I like little Grandpa Willard on the porch in his rocking chair. So I'm gonna go with Willard Smith on this.
Willard gets a vote off of this one. Sharon, is it Will Smith or Frosted Tips?
It's going to be Will Smith for me.
Oh, I was really hoping you press that to a vote for Kevin.
Sorry.
I changed my vote. Frosted Tips.
Okay, now there you go.
All right. It's even
I'm the
then.
only one not allowed to do that.
Yeah, you are. You're the only one not allowed to actually change your vote. Which means it is a tie-breaking decision coming down to Kevin. Kevin, this is your fault. You already passed the parcel. so you can't pass it to me.
Yeah, no, I
Can't
accept
blow
it. I
your
got my
load, and you
vote.
can't steal a vote. You are
It was an
completely
easy vote.
fucked in this situation.
You see, Eric and Bubbles made it super easy to vote. It's obviously little Grandpa Willard just sitting on his
Aw.
porch. Just
Willard, man, come on, man. Willard.
I love that that was your final reasoning on voting for that.
it
Like,
got pretty easy as the round went on.
Will Smith moves on 3-2 to the next round, faces a 5-0. Q starts us off on this one. Is it Koosh Balls or the N64?
Definitely the N64. I have hours and hours and hours on the N64. If I had one still, had the working cables, I'd still play the damn thing today.
So you're saying you don't have hours and hours and hours playing with your balls?
You know what you're gonna say?
Not my Gucci balls, no. And I usually had a girl to play with my ball, so I didn't have to.
Did I beat you to it, Eric? Or
You beat me too. I'm gonna say that shit next. I'm gonna say that shit.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who was picturing Q playing with his balls. So
Oh,
that's,
whoa, hey, yo.
I'm talking about Koosh Balls. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about there, sir.
yeah.
It's on you.
He is naughty.
Oh, you said it's my turn.
No.
Well, I'm saying-
Speaking of playing with balls, though, Bubbles.
You know.
Should be a favorite pastime of Bubbles.
Well, she was talking about it being a kink type thing about the entire Koosh Ball starting a kink for her earlier. So
I'm just saying, like that kind of material, if you get it to like just tickle you just right, oh my God, yes. So
Hey, yo.
Eric, he's like, I'm on that. Like he's like, see,
What do you think about it?
only on Bracket Bastards.
not all toys need to vibrate. Let's just say.
See. But it's against N64, right? That's what we're going up against.
Right.
I gotta go with the N64 on this on a serious note, because like I said, that was probably like my video game era. That's like the peak time that I ever played video games. Outside of that, like I would get video games all the time, but I was the sister, like I was the sibling's sibling, and I would opt into asking for like video games for Christmas for my brother. Just knowing that he wanted to, and I'm like, look, bro, this is my gift to you. And so I would ask for it. And then I was like, what needs to happen is I get to sit and hang out with you. And I built some great bonding time with my brother over this. So, I'm not even mad. Like it was a good exchange. Like I feel like it definitely was the gift that I really wanted, was just kind of, I don't know. I guess I'm always Hallmark cheesy like that.
The gift that keeps on giving.
A nice story.
I mean, she's Hallmark cheesy, but them fuzzy balls is a whole nother story. But go ahead.
You know what? Those are just the things that they don't put in those Hallmark movies, okay? Because we really know what happens.
That's how you end Christmas.
Oh,
There's no such thing
I'm
as a true Silent Night on those Hallmark sets.
I got to write down a note, because what Eric just said is probably going to be the opening drop. Entire fuzzy ball is a completely different story. That is probably the perfect opening line for people who's like, what the fuck? All right. N64 gets Bubbles voted off of that one. Sharron, is it N64 or Koosh Balls?
I'm probably going to be an outlier on this one. I'm going to go with Koosh Balls, just because I never owned a Nintendo 64 and never really played one. I think I was a little too old for that at the time. But I still love tossing around a Koosh Ball, so I'm gonna go with that.
You're never too old. Never too old.
Gets another vote. Kevin, is it Koosh Balls or N64?
Is it already decided?
Nope.
No.
It's on me.
Yep. And you still have a steal a vote and a load to blow. So
Is Eric gone yet?
nope.
Okay. Damn it. Okay. Fuck. I'm gonna go Koosh. I voted for an N64 for the last round for the obvious reasons of what it did for the games, or for the gaming industry, but I'm voting for the Koosh.
Oh,
Is it
man.
worth a steal a vote?
Not
Is it
quite.
worth a steal a vote?
Because the steal a vote would push it through.
It would.
Do you trust
But
Eric
do I hate-
enough to vote for it or not?
The real question is, do I hate N64 enough to do that?
Aha.
And
Dun,
I don't
dun,
think I have
dun.
heart to do that to the N64. So I will let Eric decide.
All right,
Oh,
Eric, you have this option. We know who is facing in the next round. Do you want to know?
Sure.
It will either be the N64 or Koosh Balls, both with 2 votes, will be facing Big Wheels in the quarterfinals.
Okay. I got a good. I got you. So I'm going with N64. That's the best. That's a good matchup for next round.
N64 3-2 in the
Indoors
next
versus
round.
outdoors.
Oh, that was cute. So Bubbles starts this one off. Is it the Scholastic Book Fairs or Lunchables? Both of these are split votes last round.
Oh, Jesus. What the fuck did we do, man?
I know, it's all your fault.
I do like Lunchables, but I love Scholastic Book Fairs. So that's going to be my vote.
Get some vote. Sharon.
I'm also anything with bookstore, book fair. Book, yeah, it's books for me. Absolutely the book fair.
Kevin.
I love me some edible cardboard, but book fairs all the way.
What's your thoughts on Dr. Thunder, by the way?
Dr. Thunder?
Yeah, it's a soda brand.
Oh, I don't like Dr. Pepper. I only really like
okay.
colas, so I can't have an opinion on that.
There's an entire thing about Dr. Thunder tasting like a cardboard version of Dr. Pepper.
Hey, you know what? Give me a Dr. Thunder and a Lunchable, and we be all good. Dry mouth all the way around the board.
Dr. Thunder fuck.
A little cardboard is a chaser.
Dr. Thunder
fresh
fucks
cardboard.
hard.
The Wish version of Dr. Pepper.
I am so mad that I couldn't do drops for that fucking episode because my computer fucked up on me. Because that was a perfect fucking drop. It really was. Scholastic Book Fairs gets to vote and the win off of that one. Eric, is it Book Fairs or Lunchables?
Lunchables.
Lunchables gets to vote. And can you finish this out?
The cardboard.
We go lunchy. Lunchies like the munchies, man.
Book Fairs moves on 3-2, faces another 3-2 in the next round. Last up in round 2, Sharon starts us off.
Ooh.
Is it the supersized meals or Nickelodeon? Both of these are split votes last round.
Well, I'm still not thinking. I'm still upset enough by the documentary I talked about in the earlier round that I don't think I can cast a vote for Nickelodeon. So I will go with the supersized meals in memory of Mr. Spurlock.
See, I feel the same way, but the opposite side of that one, because I don't like what the Supersized Me documentary did, because it was just fake news. It really was, and it ruined a whole bunch. And it ruined the entire Supersize Me thing, which I loved as a fat kid. Still a fat kid.
Well, you can still order a large fry.
Yeah, but it's not a supersized
Can't
fry.
get big size.
No.
A large fry is just a large fry.
Okay,
Supersized fry is like,
Oh,
And you know
big
what?
fucking fry.
Our large fry now is like the medium fry of the 90s.
Yeah,
Really?
It's not just because people fuck shit up.
I haven't
The
been
entire-
to McDonald's in so long, I don't even know.
And
I'm
my
craving
thing
McDonald's
about
now.
this is I'm a fan of documentaries. I am. But when you exclude information so it fits your narrative and still call it a documentary, that's not a
It's not
documentary.
a documentary. That's a
So-
personal video.
It is a personal vendetta type thing against fast fast food restaurants. It's a completely different thing. So I have a certain disdain for that entire fucking movie. Granted,
Gotcha.
Nickelodeon, that what happened, and I'm glad that documentary came out. But if you put the actual supersized meals against Nickelodeon, that's what the matchup I would be voting on personally. So that would be me.
Okay.
Kevin, supersized meals, Nickelodeon.
Sharon had a good point that I didn't even think of on the first round. But I also really don't like Super Size Me. I mean, I liked it obviously back when I was young, but it is just normalizing overeating, in a certain way. So I don't know. It's a hard vote.
Yeah.
I think I might separate art from artists and vote for Nickelodeon still, just because animation, and it's a core of my life. I would say childhood, but animation is a core of my entire life.
That's fair.
Nickelodeon gets a vote. Eric.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, Sharon. I understand exactly what you said. Like the documentary is bad and horrible and all that, man. But if you go to any part of Hollywood, it's bad. Any part of behind the scenes of any network is horrible. But I'm looking at it through the eyes of a 6-year-old Eric. It's Nickelodeon.
I get it.
It's Nickelodeon after school with a Lunchable. And if I had some money, some Juicy Juice. That's what it is. That's what it is for me. So Nickelodeon all day.
Dude, I miss Bug Juice.
Bug Juice. Come on, man.
I'm pretty sure
Fucking
that's still
Bug
around.
Juice was fantastic.
Yeah, it's still around. No, the Jungle Juice is in the carton.
Jungle Juice is something else here. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Jungle Juice nowadays is something else. But back in the day, it's like 3 flavors. It was in a carton.
No, we didn't have that here. The cheapest thing we had was like Bug Juice and stuff like that. No, Jungle Juice, even growing up, was like a bathtub of alcohol and oranges and other shit that it's like a giant clusterfuck of
Sounds like
boozy
hillbilly
bracket.
sangria.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of shit. It's just a whole bunch of shit.
Juice, and you put all kinds of fruit in there, and yeah, no, we didn't have that here.
Yeah, no, we didn't have it out here either, and this is Midwest.
Like
so
give us in our school.
This the one I remember. This the one I remember though. This the one I remember.
Oh, I had that one, and it was in our school lunches.
Wow.
we had milk. 1% chocolate milk was like the highest you could go. I know.
Why did your school hate you so much? Like we had whole milk.
Don't know.
We had the 2% milk. We had
skim milk.
We had skim milk. We had the 1%. We had options here. I thought our options were shitty.
We had 2 options. There was either like 1% milk, well, 2% milk, or chocolate. Yeah, when I was a little kid, yes, we had whole milk and everything else. But yeah,
we had
bread and water, bitches.
And on special occasions, chocolate milk, and you had to ask for the 1% and skim milk. It was there, so we had the options there, but you had to ask for it. If you
hold on, Bubbles, what'd you say? What'd you say? Hey, can you speak to the chef real quick and tell him I want the skim milk?
This could be our chocolate milk.
Okay, like it really sounds like it was that fancy.
No milk will ever be harder.
We had a multi-purpose room. It wasn't a lunchroom. It wasn't a gymnasium. It was all of it. It was the assembly room where we did plays, all of it. And
that's what we had too, actually.
Together for a long time, and now if you go back out there, it's like 6th grade through 12th grade that are all compiled into one school.
You went to Victoria's Performance Art School.
Totally.
Q.
Yeah.
I believe. Is it supersized meals or Nickelodeon?
Oh, it's definitely Nickelodeon still. I mean, I didn't watch the documentary, so I can't really, put that into my vote. So I like me some Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon gets to vote, and the win off of that one, Bubbles.
So during that time, I had actually gone out to do acting. And then my dad was like, absolutely not. Just like, he was like, no. So I did not get to follow through with going and like pursuing like acting at that time. But after watching that documentary, it's kind of one of those like that could have been me moments. And I'm glad that it wasn't. So I'm not voting Nickelodeon on this one. Yeah. So I guess this would be not exactly an anti-Nickelodeon vote because I like the other option, but anti-Nickelodeon it is.
Nick moves on 3-2 to the next round. We'll be right back right after this break. Quick update real quick before we go into round 3. Pass to partial and steal a vote. These next 4 matchups are the only 2 time to use those. Kevin is the only one to use pass to partial. So that particular one is the only one off the board, and load blowing goes all the way up to the final, includes in the final round. Before I became a podcast, before we became podcasters, we never really thought the entire 5-star review type thing was really worth anything, and didn't actually mean whatever it did. But apparently, I don't know about them, but I was wrong about that one. And it does mean some stuff. So we're not going to ask you to spend your time and resources and everything else to just send us a 5-star review willy-nilly. We are going to do something better. We're going to trade you for it. If you send us a 5-star review on any podcatcher or YouTube or whatever you happen to find our shit on, and send us a picture of that one, I need the proof, and a matchup that you want us to do, we will not only shout you out on the show, but we will also do the matchup for you in the process. And today we have a thank you to review. I asked you guys before we started today if you guys were all okay with fast food. There was a French fry comment earlier during the show, and I'm actually kind of glad it happened, because we have, hey, you guys and gals, my name is Rosalie Messer, and I love your show. I can't listen to it live due to church, but I listen on my way to several of my classes. Go Dogs, Georgia. Yeah. Georgia. Oh, Georgia, by the way. I had to write this down, and my penmanship fucking sucks. Okay. Georgia, by the way. As a freshman, I appreciate the longer episodes because I can usually time out my walks to each round. If not, I just press pause until I can. My 6-star review, I added a gold star because I shared your show with my brother. Review this week is an open-ended question. I hope that's okay. Who has the best French fries in fast food? My personal favorite is Wendy's, but I would like to hear yours. Signed, Rose Messer, the messy bastard.
I love it.
Q, I'm going to start with you on this one.
I mean, if it's fresh, it's got to be It's got to be Mickey D's nuts, man. It's got to be Mickey D's. They have the best French fries if they are, as Kevin likes them, warm. I'd rather have them right out that fryer.
You just want it to just burn your tongue so you can't even taste the next one. Yes.
Damn straight.
Hell yeah.
McDonald's gets a vote. Bubbles.
Okay, so at one point in my life, I felt like I was maybe a potato connoisseur. Okay, I love potatoes so much.
You've made a hole.
But, okay, so pre-COVID, I probably would have also said Wendy's fries because they had changed like their fry setup or whatever starting in like 2011 up until like 2020, and their fries were just top notch. They felt like somebody just went to that potato slicer back there, sliced that shit, put some sea salt on those bitches, and like they were just, and that would have been my pick. But because during COVID, I don't know, somebody's fucking around with something and it is not right. And I'm not happy about it, but they changed it. And now they're always fucking soggy and gross. and I'm not having it. And I'm so sorry because, like I said, it would have also been my vote, our messy bastard there. But I cannot stand with the current status of these Wendy's fries. So my vote will actually be going to KFC's current fry recipe because those are so flavorful and tasty. And right underneath that is the taco fries from Taco Bell.
Okay.
Yeah, those are great too.
Yeah.
Gets a nod, Sharron.
I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to go with Q here. When they are right out of the fryer, I don't think McDonald's fries can be beat. But, and again, I'm going to lean on my senior status here. Y'all probably don't remember when they used to make them with beef tallow.
Yes,
And,
I 100% know about that.
Yes, and
I don't remember it, but I know about it.
If you think McDonald's fries are good now, fresh out of the grease, you should have had them before they stopped using the beef tallow. Then it was a completely other thing.
Flavor of beef.
Yes.
I thought they just recently stopped that in the last couple of years.
I don't know if did they?
It's been a while.
What they did was they switched to a different form. Beef tallow was too expensive, so they switched to a different form that still used beef.
1990.
Yeah.
Beef flavoring.
And now they don't because of the entire vegan thing. So.
Yeah, well, they were saying they have not disclosed whether there's actual beef in the beef flavoring, but it is known to contain milk byproducts. So I think it still doesn't really work for vegans technically. In fact,
either way,
in 2002, McDonald's paid like a $10 million lawsuit $10 million to settle lawsuits that accused the chain of mislabeling their French fries as vegetarian because of the milk products in the fat.
You know, back in 2010, they sued everybody.
Yeah.
We were suing like crazy. Remember the
Although
coffee in the left thing?
No,
is too hot.
I agree with that one. I do agree with that one because they went back on that one and found out that coffee was actually way hotter than it should have been, and the lid itself wasn't that entire sleeve that they had was just completely wrecked, so the lid wasn't staying on right.
Yeah.
Which is why they have different lids now. So
I didn't know
they used to just have the clear lid, like they had on like they have on pop things now, but a little bit smaller, and it had the little flip top. Yeah, so it didn't really stay on. Now McDonald's has the black topper that actually like almost suction cups the fucking thing. So I'm gonna have to agree with that one.
They didn't want to get sued twice.
I don't blame them.
So I agree with what Bubbles said about like KFC's and Taco Bell's fries. For two chains that you would not expect French fries out of, they have some of the most awesome fries you can get. And if I remember right, neither place has ketchup. And I like ketchup with my fries.
Oh, yeah.
And she's not here to hear that right now. But McDonald's, when I was in high school, I always wanted to like write an article for The Onion. Like I didn't want to be an writer for The Onion. I wanted to write one article for The Onion that was trace amounts of nicotine found in McDonald's French fries. And I wanted to do a whole just expand on that for like a whole fucking story. But I'm gonna go with Five Guys Cajun fries.
Gets a nod, Eric.
First of all, it's all this shit is in some damn McDonald's fries. Lord, what else is what's in the secret Krabby Patty recipe? Lord. If I gotta go, I got two. I actually like Chick-fil-A fries. I like Chick-fil-A fries. Maybe because of the shape, it just tastes better than me. And also, I don't know you from the South or whatnot. We got a place called Bojangles.
Bojangles. I've heard of them.
Bojangles got the best fries now. If they're not too salty, because they'll put the whole handful of salt on them damn things. But they got seasoned salt. They season them with seasoned salt. But Bojangles fries is actually really, really good.
If nacho fries
to be good fries.
If nacho fries are valid, if we're gonna stretch the option of fries here, I'm gonna go with Taco John's potato olays.
Oh fuck yeah. Okay. Oh fuck. I completely those were out the window.
All right, we're getting on French fry.
No, because that's what
Those are peak.
what a fry is, right? It's just a potato fried.
Yes.
Oh,
It's a-
I was thinking it's
That's
the like phallus shape fry, because I mean you could have fried potato.
I mean, because
fried
that's
tater
but
tots.
what I'm talking about is like if you have a fried potato type thing, I wouldn't go as far as hash browns, but a miniature type potato
you dip and
sample.
catch up and eat.
Yeah, it's just a simple
Or
type
something.
thing. That would be my definition of a fry. That would be the widest definition that I would go to. My personal go-to fry potato product, my fried potato product, would be potato Olays.
Yes, absolutely.
So that would be my personal vote on that one.
That
Rose,
seasoning. I want that seasoning so bad.
I mean, I may be able to grab some before on my next DoorDash order. Just I'm saying. Rosalie, the messy bastard out there, I hope we got you hungry after this fucking
I'm
conversation.
hungry.
I'm
But-
hungry.
I appreciate your 6-star review. I think it's the biggest stars, the most stars we've gotten so far. So, and of course, go Dogs on that one as well. Hopefully, my Iowa State family don't crucify me for saying that.
They will.
Welcome back for round 3 and beyond. It looks like Kevin starts us off on this one, and these next 4 matchups are the last time to use pass to partial or steal a vote. So, Kevin, I'm going to give you this one. Is it Jerry Springer or Scholastic Book Fairs?
Scholastic Book Fairs.
Gets a vote. Eric.
Even though I know it's the biggest thing known to man, it's still gonna be Jerry Springer because I call him Uncle Jerry on the weekends. That's Jerry Springer's.
Uncle Jerry.
I'm going with
Uncle
Jerry.
Jerry's babysitting.
He raised a whole community. Uncle
Yeah,
Jerry.
I did. Oh my god. What you got going on? Nothing much. Uncle Jerry's
Uncle Jerry
babysitting.
watching. Uncle Jerry's here.
I would love to hear a conversation between Jerry Springer and Fred Rogers. What the fuck are we talking about? Jerry gets to vote off of that one. Q, is it Jerry Springer or Scholastic Book Fairs?
It's got to be Springer, man. Springs into action every time you need to.
Gets a vote, Bubbles.
You know what? I am going to go ahead. I am going to vote for Uncle Jerry on this one.
Uncle Jerry and Grandpa Willard.
Grandpa Will be coming up shortly.
This is our 90s family. These are really who we hung out with. This is who we should be sending holiday cards to.
And Sharon finishes out. Is it the Book Fairs or Jerry Springer?
I got to go with book fairs. I like to see a mind grow rather than a mind jelly.
Hey, I respect that.
I don't know about you, but I learned a lot off of Jerry Springer.
Say, I learned a lot. I learned what not to do to get put on television.
I also
Fair
learned that America is blind as hell because there's no way in hell that man not know his wife was a man. But go ahead.
Right? You've been married way too long to not know. Like,
I always wonder why we couldn't have kids.
Eric starts us off on this one. Is it Big Wheels or N64?
I did this too, right?
Yeah, you did this one. This is your
I did
fault.
this one, right? Big Will is his. I don't want to be in the house. I want to go outside. N64.
N64 gets a vote. Q.
Well, like I said, I didn't have my big wheel very long, so I'm going to go with the N64.
Gets another one. Bubbles.
oh, it's definitely N64.
Sharon.
Never had an N64, so I got to go with a big wheel.
Ruining that sweep. Kevin.
Yep. Shining is getting big wheels for me too.
And 64 moves on 3-2 to the next round. There's a second 3-2. Q starts us off on this one, and I'm going to give you
A heart attack.
The Simpsons versus Willard Smith.
Grandma
Hands
Willard.
down, it's gotta be the Simpsons, man. It has to be the Simpsons. I'm not gonna vote for Willard. Like that shit. Like his name might as well be like Willow.
His
Nah,
daughter
his
name.
daughter.
His daughter name is.
Bubbles. Will Smith, Simpsons.
As much as I love the like image that I picture when I say Willard, it's definitely the Simpsons that's more 90s for me than Grandpa Willard.
It's a vote, Sharon.
I'm gonna go with the Simpsons as well.
Gets a win off of that one, Kevin. You're muted somehow.
We can't hear
What
you.
was not Simpsons?
It's either Will Smith or Simpsons.
Since it's already winning, I'm giving Grandpa Willard his vote.
There's a long running thing where Q fucked up an entire thing, sweeping the entire thing, and it went up to the quarterfinal matchup. The Simpsons, this is the first vote against the Simpsons the entire game, and it falls on you rat bastard.
I'm sorry.
Eric, finish this out. Is it the Simpsons or Will Smith?
Oh man, so I gotta pick between a black man and a yellow family. I'm going with the Simpsons on this one though.
Decisions, man.
The Simpsons joined us for dinner every night. Okay, they never skip dinner.
And again, so his thing is, Jerry Springer took this, he helped us when we were sick, but the Simpsons made us feel good at night. So it gotta be the Simpsons.
So, in my defense, if Eric and Bubbles did not paint a picture in my head, it probably would have been a sweep still.
Yeah. Trying to
Okay,
change that one now.
we'll accept it, Kevin. I still adore you. You are still on this good list here.
Yay.
Nobody has stolen a vote. This is your last time to do it.
I like
Bubble
stealing.
starts us off. Is it Nickelodeon or the Streetlight Rule? Both of these are 3-2 last round.
I'm going to go ahead. Let me steal Q's vote.
You witch.
And we're going to do the Streetlight Rule.
All right, buttholes.
2 votes off of that one, Sharon.
Ooh.
I also want to go with the streetlight rule.
You're welcome. Fuck off,
No.
Q. Because I have a feeling you would have picked Nickelodeon.
I definitely would have picked Nickelodeon.
And you called me buttholes. I don't like that.
Kevin.
It's just a spinoff of your name. It's good. It's okay.
Listen.
Sorry,
I
my
heard
mom
the
came
90s
downstairs.
a little tougher
What was
than
it?
Is it the Streetlight Rule or Nickelodeon?
And Streetlight Rule already won. Because I haven't gone against it yet. I'm gonna go with Sharon this time. Or with not voting for it. So I'm gonna go Streetlight Rule.
Okay, Streetlight Rule gets to vote off of that one.
I really wanted
Eric
animation versus animation though. I really wanted that.
Eric can't steal a vote because he's the last one voting today.
Okay.
Is it Streetlight Rule or Nickelodeon?
I'm going with the Streetlight Rules, but when I get in that damn house, I'm watching Nickelodeon. So that's what I'm going. Streetlight Rules.
Guess what? That was a sweep.
Well, that's sweet. Moving on to the final 4 off of that one. Steal votes are gone. Pass the parcels are gone. Nobody has blown a load. It works all the way up to and including the final matchup. And we have the finals matchup as well too. So we have last week's winner facing this week's winner. So keep that in mind. Bubbles. starts us off.
No, Sharon starts us.
Oh yeah, that's because Q's vote got stolen. Q, by the way, was it the Streetlight Rule or Nick?
It was Nick.
Yeah, there you go.
Bubbles knew
Would have
it.
fucked up the sweep. All right, so it is Sharon. Sharon
Yes.
starts us off. I'm going to give you the final four. You can pick one of these. That determines the matchup we'll be starting off with. Is it the Streetlight Rule,
Mm-hmm.
The Simpsons, N64, or Jerry Springer?
Oh!
Ron Springer.
And I can only pick one.
Only pick one. That's it just determines the matchup that we're starting off on.
Simpsons.
Simpsons. So it's still your vote, Sharon. Is it The Simpsons or Jerry Springer?
Sticking with Simpsons.
Sticking with The Simpsons gets a vote. Kevin.
I don't think Uncle Jerry's gotten a vote from me yet. And he ain't getting one this round. Simpsons.
That's almost a Q. Eric.
I was on mute, but I snorted.
Yo, first of all, man, why are you trying to break the family up? Let me see. Simpsons. I still watch that now. I'm gonna watch that tonight if I go to bed anyway. So yeah, The Simpsons.
Gets a vote and the win off of that one. Q, Simpsons, Jerry Springer.
Ron Springer. No, I'm going definitely Simpsons.
Gets another one. And Bubbles finishes out.
Did you really just say Rumspringer?
I did.
Does anybody else know what that is?
Yes. Yeah, it's an Amish party
you guys
time.
are from Iowa that you know what that is.
We have Amish people here too.
We have like an Amish community, multiple communities of just straight Amish. You cannot find anything else.
They're all around in Wisconsin too.
We don't. We have Mennonites, which are similar to Amish, but they are more willing to use more technological things. I guess.
You guys are walking around with candles.
Yep. Still churn butter like freaking. What's his name? Al.
Yeah, I was gonna say Q Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, Al Yankovic. I couldn't remember his name.
I love making butter. I recently made some garlic butter that was super delish, just starting from heavy whipping cream. It was so, and then you have the buttermilk that goes with it. I know I'm really good at that.
It takes two hands.
Who would have thought?
I think I'm learning a lot about bubbles tonight, man. Between that and the fuzzy balls, it's a lot going on.
Oh, you have no idea.
Nice to meet you, though. Hey, how you doing?
I say, just be glad she hasn't whipped out her paddle yet.
I don't think I have one in my office.
You know what? That would tie it all in together, though.
I have one. So when I'm at home, sometimes I'll do it in my room, and on my bed, I have one on one side.
Whoa!
Don't stop her, Q.
Flip it around that says "Bad Girl." I love it. It's one of my favorite.
And it's
you know what mine is?
Say it's written backwards.
Mine is I went to a grocery store and bought a cutting board, and it works really nice.
That's exactly what it. Okay, so that's what it is. It's a cutting board because they don't really use. I mean, I could make a paddle. I just don't got that kind of time, But I got a laser engraver.
Hey.
I sit there and do it by hand. It does the whole thing for me. It's great. But my vote is, unfortunately for Uncle Jerry, you know what? I appreciate all those afternoons that he babysat. I am, however, going to go ahead and go with The Simpsons because I do feel like that was more present in my life than Uncle Jerry.
Which makes it a 5-0. Bubbles, what is that?
That's a sweep. Let's go get those brooms.
And Eric, I'm so glad you're learning stuff today.
A lot.
He's sitting there just going. Oh my goodness!
Our poor viewers, because I don't think that I was this outwardly raunchy when I first started like a year ago.
You weren't. You weren't, dude. You got in with us boys, and damn. All right. Jerry Springer moves on to third place matchup. Simpsons moves on to the finals of this particular one. Kevin starts us off on this one. Is it the streetlight rule or the N64?
Kevin,
Man, I love nature. I love freedom as a child, and it's so sad that it doesn't exist this day and age. Like I've always been grateful that I am from a generation that got to grow up before the internet. That is something I will always be grateful for. But I'm going to go for M64 because I think it has a stronger chance against The Simpsons.
N64 gets a vote off of that one. Eric.
Hey, for the first time, I'm going with the streetlight rule. Yeah, like it's just like we went everywhere during the daytime. Like I'm saying, that we just got, as long as you came back home on time, you were fine. We went every single where. I still got bruises from just riding my bikes like around the town. So yeah.
Gets a vote. Q.
it's got to be that Nintendo. I mean, Nickelodeon got beat out. I got to go Nintendo now.
Bubbles.
Okay, so we're picking between like rainy day versus most days. Because, I mean, that streetlight rule also went on when it snowed. Like, we are in our snow suits outside. Like, oh, you've got frostbite and your pinky toes falling off. That's fine. You'll be okay. Just throw some fucking dirt on it.
It's a long way from your heart. You'll live.
Like, this one is very, and Pass the Parcel's not available, is it?
No. Blown a Load is the only lifeline that is up to you. I would put this in Bluey terms for you. This is either the episode where they brought the little puppet home, or the Creek.
It's gotta be the Creek. It's outside till the lights are on. Like, and I'm gonna laugh if like, so those of our viewers that don't know Bluey, you should watch it. And you would totally understand, because I feel more joy thinking about the Creek episode than I do Bob Bilby. Like,
I couldn't remember the name of the episode.
Can I change my vote? Why would you say that?
I mean,
don't get me wrong. Like,
you can. The
N64.
final vote hasn't gone on yet. So
I think you changed me with your contextualizing it that way. I'm gonna go with the Creek.
It's on. It's so the Creek gets it. So it's on. We are out until those streetlights come on.
Something like Donkey Kong. Yeah.
which means Sharon's the final vote on this one. Sharon, is N64 the streetlight rule?
Come on, Sharon.
I gotta go with the streetlight rule. I experienced the streetlight rule. I never really, like I said, I didn't N64, guys. I'm sorry.
That hurts.
So in the finals, it's a 5-0 versus a 4-1. Eric starts off the third place matchup. No loads have been blown. Is it Jerry Springer or the N64?
N64 Jerry Springer. Still Jerry. I'll go with Jerry on this one.
Jerry gets a vote off of that one. Q.
I'm gonna go with the 64. I had a lot more memories on the 64, and I mean, after a while, Jerry Springer was just kind of the same shit over and over with a different title.
It was.
Gets a vote. Bubbles.
Fair.
Again, I love the tea. I love how trashy it felt. Like I felt dirty watching it, and I liked it. But at the same time, I'm with Q on this one. I had way more memories, like I said, spending time like doing video games and stuff like that with like the siblings and stuff. So N64 is going to go ahead and get my vote on this one.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I can't start casting votes for the N64 now. I haven't voted for it yet.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's never too late. You're never too old. You can do it.
I don't think you voted for Jerry Springer though either.
No, I probably haven't. No, I did. I think I did vote
First
for
round.
Jerry Springer.
First round.
Yeah.
Why
So
not,
I'm
Sharron?
gonna
You-
stick
you-
with.
Join us.
Hold on,
I'm
you voted for Jerry Springer over scented markers?
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
I did.
yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
did.
did, but she didn't have the scented markers.
I didn't have center
Oh.
markers.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I
No
remember.
Jerry. So if I keep continuing by the rule based in what I experienced, I got to go with Jerry Springer. But I don't think he's going to win this round anyway. But I'll give him a vote.
We'll see, because Kevin
His tiebreaker.
Kevin is a bit
Yeah,
of a dark
Kevin Bacon
horse.
down there, man.
Kevin can go either way.
Yeah.
Oh, so what are the two options?
It's either Jerry
Oh.
Springer or N64.
Let's see.
So I'm actually been a secret Jerry Springer fan this entire time. I just didn't want you guys to know. Like, I love this shit. Every time it was on the TV, I just couldn't get my eyes away. I was so addicted. I'm going for N64.
I'm
Hey,
waiting
I
on
went-
that.
Solid.
I'm waiting on it. It was
Have you seen them
there's
come up
too
on
much
TikTok?
there's too much seasoning on that one. You almost pulled a Q, but there's too much seasoning on it.
I know. I couldn't. I tried, but I couldn't hold back.
All right.
They have little episode clips on TikTok now, and they'll occasionally come up on my FYP, and I watch them shamelessly.
It's hilarious. It's not even that it's bad. It's hilarious though. It's like it's weird, man. And there's always somebody not know that their wife was a man.
N64 gets
Apparently, they
third
never
place
found Captain Winky.
on today's episode. Q, nobody has blown a load yet. Q starts us off in the current final matchup. The winner of this faces the internet, which is the winner of last week's. Q, is it The Simpsons or the Streetlight Rule?
Simpsons. Because you had, like when the streetlights came on, you had to be home to watch Simpsons. So
Ooh.
depending on what season it was. If it was like winter, most definitely.
Gets a vote. Bubbles.
I don't know if stating what I would like to see happen in the next round would be beneficial, or if
It wouldn't.
Are you sure? You know what? Because it's not like we have I'm the only other bastard voting today.
I'm with you,
So, I
Bubbles. I'm
mean-
with you, Bubbles.
If we go ahead and we vote Streetlight, we
Yep.
have technology
Yes.
versus absolutely nothing to do with technology.
Yep.
Yes.
I was actually thinking about that a while ago.
I feel like it passed my mind, and I was like, well, if it doesn't move on, it doesn't move on. It's not a big deal. But it's kind of a big deal now. I'm
Huge.
gonna go with the streetlight rule because I would really like to see that happen. I love The Simpsons. It really, like you said, you go from the streetlight and it's dinner time with The Simpsons. That's what it was. But you got to go through that streetlight rule first to get to The Simpsons.
Right, but The Simpsons is they're the closer, so they're the last to come because they're the best. They're the better
Well,
ones.
no, because that means you're closer to bedtime and you want to stay up all night. You want to pull all nighters.
I did that anyways.
Sure.
But again, it comes back down to Bob Bilby versus the Creek, man. Do you know how many things? Do you know how many rashes I got from just picking up random things out of the desert? I'm pretty sure that I should probably not still be here. I'm living on borrowed time because I grew up in the 90s in the middle of nowhere. We literally had nothing. We stole cable, okay? That's right.
Woo.
Water from somebody else's drinking hose.
Right? We just randomly
That's why I didn't catch COVID, because I grew up drinking water from other people's freaking garden hose. I don't know what I've had, but it's like Mr. Burns. All of my sicknesses are balanced just enough that I'm just
still here.
I'm great all the time. Streetlight Rule gets a vote off of that one. Sharron, is it Streetlight Rule or Simpsons?
I got to go with the streetlight rule for the same reasons that Bubbles did. I'm kind of with her on this one for sure.
I have a vision.
Which is making Kevin very happy on this one. Kevin, Streetlight
totally.
Rule or Simpsons?
Yup.
Oh, we got it.
Get Simpsons. Made it to the final matchup, but did not move on. Eric finishes out. Is it Streetlight Rule or The Simpsons?
I mean, it doesn't matter what I say. Y'all gonna do it anyway.
It matters.
No, I was just saying. if we're looking at through the eyes of Eric in the 90s, it's going to be the streetlight rule.
4-1, dropping the Simpsons. The streetlight rule reigns supreme.
Yeah. So I was like a Beavis and Butthead fan back in the 90s. Now, so we told me, but we.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, that was in more than the 90s for me, but.
Two Angry Beavers.
The 2000s came up. Oh yeah.
Real Monsters. Don't worry, we're just gonna go through the Nickelodeon cartoons.
I mean, I kind of wonder how many Nickelodeon shows that you can name that would make a good name for pornos nowadays.
All of them.
For instance, Two Angry Beavers.
Real Monsters.
Yes.
Real Monsters. Yeah. Two Angry. Yes.
That could definitely be one.
That would tie it. I feel like that would be like that hentai category. Like I feel like it would be under that umbrella.
All right.
Oh man, it's weird.
You guys ready?
Nickelodeon was weird back in the day.
Oh,
Nobody has blown a load. This is your last opportunity to do so. Bubbles starts us off. Is it the internet or the streetlight rule? This is technology versus. This is the inside versus the outside.
Okay. Well, I also planned this out very well. I've been edging this whole time, so I'm gonna go ahead and blow my load.
I got you this one.
I usually have a soundboard on hand, but I didn't open it this time. So sad.
Sharon, streetlight rule, internet.
Jeez. Can more than one person blow their load on the same round?
We've had one bukkake. We determined we call it the bukkake episode.
Yeah.
Where everybody blew their load on the same fucking turn. It's only we're 100. This is 134, I think. So there's 134 episodes deep. Giggity. And we've only had it happen one time. Ironically enough, it was all guys except for one girl, and our guest that week was a porn star.
She was in that movie.
Eric, you're cracking me up. I'm gonna use that nuclear option. I'm gonna blow my load.
Kevin. No need for a soundboard. Eric.
Y'all stupid as hell. All right. Oh god. Well, first of all, the internet is the reason why we all here together now. Gotta have the internet because all here together now, but going outside, because sometimes I think we need to step away from this shit. Damn it, I hate to do this too. I guess I'm just gonna I like it.
Yes.
You gotta know this.
So Q usually waits until somebody else has blown their load because he doesn't want to do it first.
You're so courteous, Q.
That's usually how it starts.
Q,
so polite.
You have two options here.
Two options, huh?
You could either be a bastard and not create history, or you could create history by blowing your load.
You've earned it.
Oh, yeah.
You've earned it.
It is official. We have our second in 140 plus episodes of the Bastards. This is our second bukkake episode, and it's a 2-to-1 ratio as far as guys versus girls on this one. But it also brings it back to Bubbles.
Grand time.
I'm so honored to have been part of this history.
I hate y'all so goddamn much.
Did you partake in today's bukkake?
Oh man, that was hilarious. Wow.
Oh my gosh, Kevin, I feel like that should also be a secondary option for the opener there. That was like perfect. Like we all got quiet at the same time as you said that so clearly. It was beautiful.
It was like you were like hosting a radio show or something.
Oh, wow.
Do we actually, you know what? It's been a while since I've offered this. Do we have any listeners that are voting right now?
No, we
No?
we don't have anybody in comments right now.
Should I pop my head out and see if I can't get somebody to answer, like internet or play outside till the lights come on? Like,
I mean,
can we
I'll
phone a
pop my
friend?
head out, but it's
Your
gonna be
best-
different.
I mean, I can't vote for you, but like I can still offer my opinion.
Well,
Well, first-
because like, so my thought on it, of course, you know, like I am at a point in my life, like I've started gardening. Oh, I have so many tomatoes that are starting to grow. I'm excited.
Yum.
Like all the tomatoes.
I'm not sorry, Eric. I'm not at all.
Hey, yo, let me say this right here. Hold on. Bubbles, you like on two ends of the spectrum. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Okay, so I have started like turning over my dirt in the backyard because my like backyard was plain. It was nothing. It was boring. Like we have a trampoline and a tree back there and some bushes. Like it was not interesting at all. So now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, cool. I want a fairy garden. Like I want my own like fruits growing out of there. Exactly. Q, that's perfect. And so I'm doing a lot more like outside work. I am like making bread homemade. I am like making my own butter, things like that. And I absolutely fucking enjoy it. Like I am having a grand time. You know what? If something happens and shit stops working, I'm on this. I am in that mode. I have hit that point in my life where I'm just granny status. Like give me a garden and some tools and I'm happy. Maybe I might learn how to knit. I don't know. That might be a new adventure. I'm down to learn. But again, so a lot of my recipes and stuff like that and like how I'm learning how to garden and build and do all of those kinds of things comes from the fucking internet. Like that's where I'm getting my information because, you know, I'm sure there's a book on it somewhere, but I mean, it's on the other
Plenty.
side.
Who reads nowadays?
Plenty of books out there.
Readings for rich people.
Right. So, but it's so hard because it's one of those like, I have such excitement for the future. Like I would love to see technology just fucking soar and go. And like, I remember like 10-year-old me, like, oh my God, flying cars and all the space bubbly stuff, like thinking like Meet the Robinsons kind of futuristic. Like I would be so excited for a lifestyle like that. But at the same time, I also have grown up in that time frame where we've got like Zombieland and you know, all of the zombie apocalypse things. And part of me feels like that's realistic too. So I'm really, Eric, you're right. I'm on two ends of the spectrum here. I'm on both sides of that dildo. Okay?
I'm pretty sure that's not what he meant, but I appreciate that image though.
But you know what? Let's go until the streetlights come out. Those were my argument points on both of those. Like the internet brings us together. It allows me to do the like crafts, hobbies, and things that I like. However, that stuff can still be done without the internet as well. That information can be
let me ask a question.
But the question is, would you do it if you didn't have the internet?
Would I do it if I would actually, because
Would you actually go out, get a book, or actually ask people for advice, or would you just kind of wing it?
I
She'd
feel
have
like
to.
I'd
She
start
had
out
nothing else to
winging
do.
it, because that's where I've started so far. My garden started with a fucking pineapple, so let's be honest with that one. Okay, like
Let's be honest. All right.
Did you plant it upside down, Bubbles?
It's not upside down yet, but I'm waiting for the little thing to grow, and I guess it takes like a year or something. So I'm working hard on this pineapple.
Freddie
Okay?
is wild, man.
Okay, so that's where this
Yeah, no
started from.
fucking
It
clue,
was an
dude.
experimental pineapple that turned into accidental garlic, that turned into 30 tomato plants, that has turned into a clover field, into a tunnel archway of moonflowers.
Oh, that's sweet.
So like this is where this is all gone. And it did really absolutely start with just winging it. And I would absolutely wing it. And then when I failed, I'd be like, well, clearly I need to learn something because it's not natural. Like this just doesn't come natural to me unless it's a pineapple, apparently. I guess I'm really great with pineapples. Okay, but I think it's Sharon's
I bet you
go.
are, Bubbles.
Speaking of pineapples, Sharon.
Yeah. What?
Well, hold.
Now I want pizza. I want pineapple on a pizza.
Oh,
Okay,
you just ruined it.
done. No.
Okay, no, I'm gonna piggyback off of Bubbles thing real quick, in a good way, not the way that I was just suggesting. Streetlight rule, internet. She made a comment about how the internet brings us together. I mean, we're all, with the exception of myself and Q, we're all in different parts of the country, not even to count the world on this particular one. So the internet brings us together. However, Streetlight rule brings us together in a completely different way.
It also limits your time together, though. You got a part when the streetlights come on. The internet don't got to do that.
Bubbles mentioned earlier about one of the reasons she was voting for N64 so much is because she loved spending time with her bro. She gave up Christmas presents.
Yeah.
The one time you're allowed to really much ask for what you want, she gave up Christmas presents to spend time with her brothers. So
that's a non-selfish person.
Using that logic, I agree with her streetlight rule vote, because spending time together as doing something that you all love, as person to person, should be better than spending time on the internet. Because right now, I don't get me wrong, I'm having shit. I consider this cheaper than therapy. That's the reason I do the podcast. However, I do know from also personal values that spending time one-on-one with a person who is directly in front of you, who can actually sit there and give you a hug more than 10 seconds, because that's the way that it fucking counts medically. And
oxytocin.
Exactly. It's doing the thing that is outside personal, going out there, sitting on the electrical box type thing that people have, that they waited at the bus stop, had the greatest fucking conversations type thing. That's what the streetlight rule was. You didn't have to worry about politics and shit like that, because you didn't know about any of it. You knew about what was going on in your neighborhood with your friends, and didn't have to worry about the bullshit they had. Plus the internet as well. You have one fucking electronic pulse, or one of the big wigs up in the people who run this country decide that you don't deserve internet anymore, you're fucked. Streetlight rule, not so much.
Nope.
Like I said, with the internet,
if power goes out, the streetlight rule goes out too. So
you can still go. Then you don't have to. You have more time.
But here's the thing is,
came on when the sun came down.
Yep.
So if the street lights weren't working and the sun is down and you're not home, there's a problem.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did my little rant.
It was all fun and games until daylight savings time came around, and we had to go back. We had to go in the house early.
Right.
Move to fucking Indiana or something where they don't have that shit.
Had to go in the house at 5 o'clock. Like, God damn.
Sharron.
Yeah.
Internet. Streetlight rule.
I freaking love the internet. I mean, I really, really do. It's part of the reason I'm in Sweden, for crying out loud. I would have never gotten to know my wife if we hadn't, connected via mailing list back in the late 1990s. So,
1900s.
That's it's been a huge thing for me. It's changed my life in a lot of ways, but good golly, the streetlight rule, for all the reasons that both you and Bubbles have said, I mean, that was just so fundamental to me growing up, and my parents setting some boundaries and saying, this is what we need to do, and this is how you need to think about it, and you need to be responsible. You need to be home when the streetlights come on. So in a way, that set me up in a foundational way as well. So I'm going to go with the streetlight rule.
Streetlight rule gets a vote. Kevin, I would like to remind you of the Bluey comparison. That's all I'm going to say.
You don't need to. My opinion was actually decided right when this round started, and a point flowed through my head.
It's your vote there, sir.
I love the internet, man. It's the reason we're all here. It brings people together, but it also pushes people apart. It is such a bittersweet enigma of existence. There's so many layers wrapped around it. But my main point is, you know how we were all nostalgic over the streetlight rule? You know how that's the reason we all vote for it so much? The internet is the reason that doesn't exist anymore. There's my point.
That's so sad.
So the video killed the radio star?
Yep. So yeah,
Love that song
outside
too.
streetlight rule gets my vote.
Okay.
I would like to tell you, by the way, the streetlight rule was not on the original list when I made this.
Really?
Nice.
But it was something that I grew up with and I absolutely miss. So if you want to talk about 90s nostalgia, don't get me wrong, the internet's very important to the 90s, but you talk about 90s nostalgia, the streetlight rule was my input to the list. So I appreciate it not only winning today's bracket, but the entire fucking thing. So, Eric, streetlight rule, internet.
Right. I mean, I love that every single one of y'all gave a great reason behind the streetlight rule, and that warms my heart. Anyway, but let me say this real quick. We all looking at the streetlight rule through our 90s kids' eyes, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We're all grown as people now. If we didn't have the internet, and are we gonna take our old ass back outside? No.
Yep.
I mean, you might do it for sexual reasons. That's your business. But I'm saying,
No, there's literally people
I already
outside
said that we
on
do that.
fucking barbecues and shit. What do you think cookouts are?
but I'm saying,
The entire cookouts are.
You got to think about it. Let's say a nice rainy day is streaming a movie is amazing
Yeah.
on a nice
Is that
rainy day.
VCR?
But you got to remember, guys.
Hold on. A VCR is only good until that tape can't get back into the VCR.
Oh my gosh, my husband said the same thing last week.
And it gets stuck in the deck, and you gotta try to rewind it. But no, on those side. But internet, honestly, is the reason why we all here though. It's the internet has brought us outside of our comfort zone and got us to a place where we can connect with people over the world now. You know what I'm saying? And as a podcaster, that's a big thing because I don't think there was no such thing as a podcaster back when we was like in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? There was no such thing as doing this.
Like I would never have the pleasure of knowing Bubbles or Eric or Kevin or Ken.
Like the pleasure that I got to knowing that Bubbles play with Fuzzy Balls is amazing right now.
Yeah, but you know, you guys, we're being nostalgic about the streetlight rule, but let's be a little nostalgic about what the internet was like in the 90s. I mean, I was still doing the damn dial-up. Beep, beep, beep. I mean, we could
it's got to start somewhere. It's got to start somewhere.
But think about it though. Think about this. We talking about nostalgia. Think about how mad you felt when somebody called your phone when you was on the internet.
Oh yeah, I know.
Downloading a song, you had 10 seconds left. You've been waiting all fucking day because it's just that's
a memory that you can't live without though.
Yeah.
No, I can live without it. I'm perfectly okay with living out with that shit.
I loved that. Get off the internet. I need to make a call.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
But
Who the fuck picked up the phone?
I gotta choose, we ain't got no more like choices, right? Else like lines. All right. I guess I'm gonna go to the majority there. I'm gonna do streetlights.
I would recommend if you ever get a chance to just when it's raining. This might be a white person thing. I don't fucking know, but just grab a hammock or a chair or a blanket or something and just lay outside when it's fucking raining.
So
especially a nice warm rain.
Me and my sister when we was kids. Well, we were kids. We're like, hey, we were damn near 20, but we would sit on the front porch. We would sit on the front porch during a big storm and play and have music playing. You know what I'm saying? It's the most peaceful thing in the world.
Take your shoes off if it's the
I'm talking about like legitimately in the rain.
Yes.
Oh, no. You talking about sit out in the rain?
In the rain, where you're getting just drenched.
Go outside and just get soaked.
Pour on you.
It's great.
You take your shoes off. You go lay down on the ground. My gardening is all done barefoot too.
Freddie, I agree with you, Freddie. That's a white person thing. But look, I was saying.
I don't know. White people are fucking weird.
Sitting on the front porch on the rain, like, it's amazing. I love that. I love it.
It's just water, dude. Like, I mean, hell, you take
Hold
showers.
on. In the words of Robin Williams in Jumanji, yes, just water, but too much of it can kill you. But you know what I'm saying?
It's fair.
I'm not saying fall asleep with your mouth open. I mean,
but if I lay on the ground, what else I'm gonna do? I'm going to sleep.
It's called grounding. Is what the practice is called.
It's also called drowning. I'm not trying to do
drowning.
I'm not trying to do that either.
Anyway, I'm not to cut you off. Q, internet streetlight rule. Finish us out.
First thing, real quick. This is 90s what, by the way?
90s, just 90s.
Just
90s
90s.
nostalgia is pretty much bracket. Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, I just want to point out the one thing that nobody ever pointed out, especially being four guys here. The internet brought us moving pictures of females, not just still pictures of females. Just throwing that out.
No. My dad brought me.
My dad brought me the VHS.
Like, we still had VHS. We had DVDs.
Yeah, we had that. We had a whole bunch.
We heard Imagine Fucking Nation. It's
There's
just
the classic song. The internet is for porn.
The internet just allowed any of us to be a porn star. Okay.
Yeah, actually,
it gave all of us hope.
It's allowed us to see. It allowed us to see the shit for free. That's what it allowed us to do. To see this shit for free.
I still see it for. I still seen it for free. My dad had a whole bunch of shit. I just go ahead and take his. The internet is for two things. Kitty videos. That's all it is.
Porn.
Kitty videos. KITT,
Yep.
not KIDD. Whatever. Kitty videos. Two things.
Maybe next time say cat or kitten.
No.
Because it did when you said kitty videos. I like my ears perked up. I'm like, Freddie.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
not that kind of podcast.
Yeah, but you say kitten videos, it kind of. Yeah. You knew my double entendre. What the fuck? Anyway. Q, finish this out, though. We keep talking over. You're going to apologize.
I'm going with the internet, man.
There you go.
Porn. Vote for porn. It's all right. We all blew our load. I didn't. I wasn't voting, but I would have anyway. Streetlight rule. Wins the 90s nostalgia bracket. I'm so fucking happy it does. It kind of gives me hope for the future. Q,
What's that?
where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Bracket Bastards, of course. You can also find me on Facebook under Quentin Vandystrude, and you can find me on Instagram under Master Bastard Q, because I am the master of these bastards.
You can find Bubbles at.
You can find me right here on Bracket Bastards, or you can also find me on the TikTok under Jessie Marie.
You can find Sharon at.
TheVikingDiaries.com, and also Instagram and Threads at Viking.diaries being my username there, because some other bastard took Viking Diaries as the username there. And also on Station Head, also username Viking Diaries.
You can find Kevin at.
I'm not really active anywhere right now, so I'm just going to give some Bo Burnham fans a little bit of a treat. Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got mountains of content, some better, some worse. Now, Eric G, you can go now.
All right.
You can find Eric at.
On the internet where the porn sites are. But
OnlyFans, not a
Only-
sponsor, but
No,
probably
no,
after
no,
this
no.
show it will be.
The title of this show is Fuzzy Balls and I can't get the words out. Anyway, but look, y'all can find me at Random Thoughts with Eric G podcast on all platforms. Also look for me on TikTok. That's Random Thoughts with Eric G. On Facebook at Eric Green / the Green Rose Foundation, which is my organization, and on IG at Random Thought with Eric G. Man, I appreciate it, man. Yo, this is fun. I love this.
And of course, I'm your host, Freddie Fisher. You can find me at that on Facebook. While you're on Facebook, check out Bracketology and Bracket Bastards. Currently on Bracketology, we have 2 polls going up every single day. Currently, it is the Bracket Bastards Championship bracket that we did a couple weeks ago, which Jurassic Park won that one. It is still currently in the race on the polls as well. And we're also doing, it is today as we record, it is the final 4 of the I'd rather not bracket, which is 32 extremely fucked up situations that you have to choose which one you'd much rather not do. So make sure to check out that one. Finals get released tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. On Twitter, you can find me at Fisher777. We're all at Bracket Pod. And of course, on Instagram, you can find me at Can't Lick Me. Not one word. I try to end every single show with a quote that is regarding to this particular episode. And this one is actually is from the song. And we were talking about this song earlier. It's by Boz Lerman. However, it is from a speech from 1997 from a Mary Smitch. And if I pronounce that wrong, I'm pretty sure the woman's probably dead by now, so she's not going to get offended. So it's advice is a form of nostalgia. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from the disposal, wiping it off, and painting over the ugly parts, and recycling it for more than it's worth.
Nice.
On that note, we will see you next week. We will be doing a wrestling special, talking about catchphrases. Have a good week, guys.
Bastards out.
Peace.
Yay.